Hey y'all, it is Luca and welcome back to the channel. Today, I am in Brindleton Bay. This world came with The Sims 4 cats and dogs. It is by far my favorite world in the game. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. It's perfect. But today, we are going to be building the practical magic house. It's going to be a bit of a long one, so I recommend getting some snacks, getting some tea, maybe open your game, and let's just get started. A couple things I want to mention. This home, it not being a real house, like it never really truly existed, made it kind of hard to figure out. So I have already pre-planned this floor plan. I'm going to have it on my other screen, so I'm going to be pausing and looking at that sometimes. And I'll also leave a link in the description down below to a website that I guess some fans created to kind of put together like some floor plans since, this wasn't a real house. Yeah, it's complicated, but I will leave a link down below, and it's like a pretty interactive website. It's probably from like the 2000s, to be honest, but it's a really good little website. Lots of information on it. Highly recommend it. But without further ado, let's just get started, y'all. There's no need to ramble, okay? We know why we're here. All right, the Practical Magic House by far is one of the most iconic movie houses ever, at least to me. So it's it's gonna be kind of hard to recreate it in this game just because where it isn't real, but also obviously it's The Sims 4. There's a lot of limitations, so just take it with a grain of salt. This is really me just building a house based off of vibes, okay? If there's something in here that doesn't look right, that's fine. It's all right, We're just trying to make the vibes, okay? I'm gonna kind of focus on one floor at a time and one room at a time. So let's see here. So first things first is the entrance. I don't exactly know the positioning of this house yet, so I'm gonna have to just build it and move it later, I think. But this front room is, I think, 4 tiles wide. And I'm also going to be building this, I believe, on a medium wall height for the first floor at the very least. And then let's see. Here, I'm gonna have to be going based off of this, but all right, so let's see. So we're gonna do 9 tiles this way for this wall here. And then it kind of goes over 2 and then 2 more. And then it kind of just does this. It's kind of a weird space, y'all. It's kind of hard to make this work. So the staircase is kind of the most complicated part of this build. I'm not gonna lie. The staircases are weird, but I wanted to, replicate them as much as I could. So I'm going to start by, I think, lifting this up 3 times on the platform, and then I'm going to remove this wall again. So it's kind of like this kind of setup. And then I'm just going to throw some placeholder stuff in for now, and then we'll change it later, or we'll change it here in a second, unless I leave it this dark color. I don't know. I personally just would rather do the dark wood. Yeah, that looks better. And then we'll put another staircase right here. Stairs need ground or floor to... I'm kind of confused by that. So I literally have already created this, but we'll just put another room right there. And then let's see here if that worked. Okay, I think that worked. And then we're going to do some staircases just like that. How does that look? Is that correct? I think so. Maybe we actually can lift this up 1 more tile. That's much better. Okay. And that's like the entrance kind of hall, staircase. It's really hard to recreate it. So just take it with a grain of salt. And then the next room is right here. It's like a dining room, but in the very beginning of the movie where Sally and Jilly are still children, they move in with, the aunts and everything, the aunts, if you will. They are in that room, learning spells and stuff and eating chocolate cake or whatever. And it is also 9 tiles in length, roughly. And then we go 6 tiles this way, just like that. There we go. And then there's this area back here behind the staircase that I honestly don't know what to do with, because the positioning of the staircase for the kitchen is really complicated. It took me a long time to figure that out. So there's just a couple rooms over here that obviously these were not in the film whatsoever. They're just here. I'm going to turn one of these into a bathroom and then another room into just like a storage room. And I'm also going to lift the platforms in these rooms up. These are really just filler rooms, but I'm just going to put some doors here or something. I think I'm going to put a door here and then a door here. And then I will have this be a bathroom and then maybe just like another room be like a storage room. So something like that. There will be a staircase right here. This is the staircase you see in the kitchen. Like, you're in the kitchen and you can see the staircase leading up to the second floor. And the proportions are a little bit strange in The Sims. There's like a space here where that like hallway is. And then there is a pantry right here. This is a very iconic room. This is a room where Jillian is with the girls, Kylie and Antonia, and they are in here doing a little spell to get rid of the private investigator, Officer Hallett. You can tell I've seen this movie a fair number of times. I mean, hell, y'all, if you don't know, my username here on YouTube, it's just Luca for the main channel name, but the username is Luca Owens. I chose that name for this movie, okay? And then the kitchen is 6 tiles wide, roughly. And then we kind of bring these down this way. I believe this area right here is 4 tiles wide. And then okay, we'll put some walls there to kind of separate it. So here's like a kitchen. It's a pretty big kitchen. It kind of seems too big. Something is off. Yeah, I think I made it a little too big. I think it's like this in size, but we'll probably adjust that. And then there is like a weird room that I put like literally right here, another filler room, because it just didn't seem right from the exterior shots that I was looking at. So I think I might just leave it like that. And then there is a room that is the iconic conservatory. And I think I made it 7 tiles in size. And then I believe I made it 6 tiles wide, roughly. Yeah, that looks kind of right, kind of not. I don't know. Okay, I think that is a good start for this kind of side of the house. And then there is another room right here. It's the living room slash, I guess you could call it a parlor. So we're going to go 6 tiles this way. Then we're going to go 5 tiles this way. I'm being very calculated by this because I have a very specific setup. I have basically done a mock-up in The Sims 4, taken a screenshot, and then I'm rebuilding it. That's kind of what I do. Then I'm going to do 5 tiles this way, and then it meets right here. So there's the first floor. There's a front porch right here as well that we're going to add but really quickly so that we can just do that already. It is kind of like a wraparound sort of front porch, if you will, and it goes out 2 tiles on all sides. There is a little door here that leads into the conservatory. I do want to add that. I think it goes right here, and then there's like a pretty tall staircase. The house itself, I would say we're going to do like maybe like that much, but I feel like it's even higher in the actual like the actual movie. It's really hard to tell because like there's a big staircase that leads up to it in a few scenes, especially when like she meets Sally, when she meets the Officer Hallett guy, and like I don't know, it's just very specific, but we're just, again, it's just an interpretation. I'm not really super worried about it. Then there's a staircase right here that leads up to the front door, and then there is another one. I think that's right here, I think. Maybe I just did 2 tiles. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so first floor, that's pretty much squared away. Good to go. And then the second floor, we'll start with the tower area. This is where it gets tricky, to say the least, okay? So the house itself is a little strange. The second floor isn't as big as the first floor, obviously. We're gonna go in like this much, 2 tiles this way. I'm doing this actually just so that I can kind of get my proportions kind of set up. So we're going to do 3 tiles this way, and then it goes 4 tiles this way, and then it goes only 1 tile this way, and then it's 5 tiles. Okay, we'll place this room down actually instead. This is Sally's bedroom. This is kind of the iconic like balcony right here. This is where that tower is starting, and then this room is is like this big. Yeah, that looks right. And I think before we move on, I will go ahead and I'm going to place down the iconic staircase. I literally have to place it down first, and then we have to like edit it a certain way. I think it goes like this, and then it goes like, how does it go? Oh gosh, I'm not good at messing with these. I get kind of overwhelmed with it. I think I push it this way, and then I push it this way. Yes. And then we can place it down right here as well. And then we're basically going to copy that and just rotate it and place it here. So this is a medium wall height. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. So let's replace that again. Yeah, there we go. Another one. This is like, you know, the iconic tower. You know what I'm talking about. And then this room isn't really a room that's featured in the movie. This is something that was like, I guess the website that I was referencing, they actually, I feel like they did this for a dollhouse to make like a miniature. We're kind of doing that. It's The Sims. And we're going to go 6 tiles to this edge here. And then we go 2 tiles this way. And then this kind of like goes into the conservatory roof a little bit. And then we place this down here. I think this is 4 tiles. And then there's like a little bit of a spot here, and then you do this. It's kind of weird, but that's that. The rest of this is going to be a kind of landing area. This was also one of those spaces that's kind of just not like in the movie at all. So it's really hard to kind of figure it out. All right. And then there is a balcony porch. I don't know what you call this. I guess you could just say, for the lack of a better word, a balcony. But there's one right here that I'm going to place as well. And I'm also going to just preemptively add a fence right here so that I don't forget, because I'll forget that. That's the second floor. Oh, there's also a bathroom right here. Again, I don't think this bathroom is in the movie, but it's there. So, you know. Alrighty, the next floor is the 3rd floor. This one's a little bit tricky, so you gotta hear me out with it. There is a little room that I'm gonna place right here because the front of the house, you can kind of see like that iconic image in the front. So it's 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's not quite. It's like a little bit off the edge here. And then we'll just meet, you know, this wall here. This is pretty easy. This space is it's basically just 2 big rooms. There is one of the aunt's bedrooms. Oh, I can't remember which one the website said, but this is one aunt's bedroom. And then there's going to be, the other one is downstairs, of course. There's a wall here. And then I think it's just, we line this up here, and then we do 3 tiles this way, and then this is where another bedroom is. This room actually needs to be a tiny bit smaller because there is going to be some kind of awkward but necessary little, I guess you could say dormers, but they're not really dormers. I'm just putting 2. That's the floor plan. But then there is also another bit of the tower right here. I believe it was 4x4 tiles, just a little 4x4 tiled room. I believe that's the proportions I did. Exactly. Perfect. Now, in The Sims 4, we are unable to really do anything up here because once you get past the 4th floor, you can't place down walls. However, you can do half walls. The tallest it can be is like, I think this one. Yeah, that's the tallest we can get because after a bit, like these half walls, quote unquote, are too tall for these spaces. So I'm just gonna do something like this. Actually, first, before I do that, I need to place down, so because this is kind of like a kind of giving lighthouse vibes, you know? So I'm gonna place down kind of like some hexagonal shapes here, and then we'll just place down some rectangular shapes to fill it in, something like that. And I'm gonna really quickly place down this fence just to kind of give myself a placeholder for now, so that I can kind of, you know, see that proportioning. And then we're going to go in with the half walls and kind of make like a little lantern kind of thing. That's actually what the website said it was, is it called it a lantern. Look at that, cute. And then there is going to be windows, of course, it's going to be the windows from Cats and Dogs. But I just used these white ones and I'm just going to place them all around. I may have to get creative with the lighting in here, but we may also just have to ignore the lighting because we're going to be using this item right here. This one is a roof item, and I think, can I lift this up? Oh my goodness, I can. I can lift that up as a floor if I wanted to, but I'm just going to use up. Do I have the tool mod installed? Oh no, I don't have the tool mod installed, y'all. What is wrong with me? I feel so silly. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I know I did this room and I was like making a big fuss about it, but like, hear me out. Do we really need it? I don't think we need it because I feel like I can just like place this down just like that and it looks beautiful. Honestly, kind of a serve actually. I'm going to go with it. I may edit that off camera. Maybe I'll even go in with some of these windows with move objects since, you know, I can place them like that. But yeah, that's kind of a fun little placeholder, I think. The next part of this is also there is a kind of rooftop balcony. It's a rooftop balcony that they jump off of at the end of the movie, you know? And so we're going to go 3 tiles this away, and then we'll just kind of trace the shape of this essentially. And then there is a spot up here. See, I think I'm going to veto these windows right here just because I just can't with them because of this balcony kind of rooftop. I keep calling it a balcony. It's not a balcony, okay? It's a rooftop, okay? So there's that rooftop space, and you can see, I think this is a good little starting point. This looks good. Second part of this building process now is going to be the roofing. I put this little kind of like balcony kind of situation here on this front bit where this front part of the house is. It's not really easy to see what was here because it's kind of like roofing, kind of not. So I just put like a little foundation, just like that, a little platform. I may just make it more magical looking, but I will go ahead by starting with placing down all the roofing. This is going to take a hot second, y'all. I'm going to be honest. It's going to take me a minute. Yeah, I think it's about like this size. And then let's see. I need to put a half-hipped roof right here. It's going to be 2 tiles wide. And then we're going to kind of level it with this piece right here, and then we're going to bring it all the way to the edge where it's like 2 tiles out, something like that. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. We need to put this here instead specifically because there is an issue where I was placing this down and I was just having some major issues with this part because there is a little balcony here as well. And yet another balcony on this daggone house. And it's Sally's balcony. It's the iconic balcony. I mean, you kind of got to get this right because this is like part of the house that's like very recognizable because it's one of the real parts of the house. Like this is like, there's like this view, there's the front view, and then there is a bit of a back view, but you don't really see the back very much. So I think what I need to do is we'll place this down. We're obviously going to place one right here as well, and then copy this onto this side, I think. And then we'll also put one right here as well. Okay, we kind of have that. That seems to be okay. I used a half-hipped roof here. Okay, that's what I did. And then I just lined it up like that. There we go. Okay. And then we pulled the eaves out a little bit. See, there we go. That's what I was trying to go with. I'm just going to copy and paste this roof piece right here for this little pantry room. It's kind of weird how it's placed, but that's fine. And then I'm going to place down a roof right here, just a normal roof. I think I'm not even going to really mess with the eaves. Yeah, I think that looks very nice there. We've basically kind of got the same situation right here. This is such a weird balcony, but it was just how it was set up. So I kind of have to do that. I think I'm going to do this kind of situation. In fact, hold the phone. I think I went in with half walls here just because I could not get fences to work with the roofing properly. And then this part had fence. Okay. And then let's see. I'm basically going to do the exact same thing right here with this. Yeah. And then we will copy and paste this bit once again. And I believe it just ends abruptly. It does look weird, but we don't really see this very much. Okay, and then there is like a little roof piece right here. I need to figure that out. I believe I just place a little octagonal. Is it octagonal one? Yeah, I placed like an octagonal one right here. And then I just kind of lower it just a bit. And I'm going to probably use, I think, just a a gabled roof. And we're just going to use this to kind of help sort of blend it in. We may have to lower it significantly, actually. Something like that. We'll take this and bring it back one tile, and we'll bring it down one more notch. That does look right. Okay, there we go. We have a cover for that little kind of bay area there. Oh, this don't look right. Did I do this wrong? I bet you this conservatory is a little bigger than this. Yes, I did this incorrectly. Let me get rid of this. There we go. That makes so much more sense now. Okay, that looks better. And then the roofing on this is, of course, going to be a sunroof. It's a conservatory, which I actually always call this like a greenhouse room, but that's literally what a conservatory is. It's like a room that is essentially a greenhouse. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, that doesn't seem very big. I'm gonna go one more tile just because it feels wrong to not do that. Okay, that looks a little bit more accurate. And then I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the beautiful roofing like that. Yes, how gorgeous. I think that's the second floor, like the roofing placed there. Now we've got the third floor, or the second floor, or third floor, whatever you want to call it. This is where it gets complicated. So we're gonna start just by getting this out of the way really quickly. Sally's balcony. I'm going to start by placing down some roofing for that. Now, this is something that I had to like really play around with in my plans. Pull out the eaves on this little roof piece, then place another bit of roofing down like that to kind of create this. Now, there's like an arch here. I could not, for the life of me, have a recreation of that looked good. Okay, it was so daggone difficult to get it to look good. And then, yeah, that's that bit of roofing. And then what I did was I placed down this right here as well. We're going to do like a little 2 tile wide roofing, and we're just going to line it up with that, bring these down, I think. Yeah, something like that. And then I'm going to bring it over here and then do this. And I think that's it for that. And then I'm going to copy this roof piece, and we're going to use this for the for this little like roof bit here that goes over Sally's bedroom. I'm going to place this down just here, I think, and then bring it up to the same height, just about there. I'm also going to bring this eave in. Is that how it goes? I think I actually need to bring it forward one more and then just bring those in. Okay, yes. And then we're just going to copy and paste yet another piece right there. And then I'm going to use a half gabled roof here and just bring it over like so, and then just line it up the best that I can. I think it goes to like there. Yes. Once again, something that I had to play around with a lot is I'm going to place another one, and we're going to lower it to about here, I think, and then bring it out. And then that's the front. I feel like something is off. I feel like something's off. I feel like this part was taller and this part was shorter. Yeah, so I'm going to bring this down to like this level right here. That looks better. And then this one honestly can go up a bit. So we're going to lift it up like this much. How does that look? I feel like that looks pretty daggone good. Now we got to get this side done, which, oh my goodness. This is the part of the houses that you can see is always the easiest part, but this is ugly. It's the worst part of it, but we're going to make it look cute regardless. It looks like I have a regular bit of roofing just like this one. I just need to place down a gabled roof right here, or half gabled. Yes, half gabled. And I'm going to do this kind of situation. And then I just need to line it up with, I think, the top of this one. We'll go down one little notch here, and I'm going to bring it over to here. Oh wait, actually real quick, I'll leave this the way it is, just this piece. And then I'm going to do another piece, bring this eave down. Ooh, we'll bring it over one more notch. We'll do that kind of situation. And then bring it all the way over to this spot right here. And then theoretically, we should be able to copy this, place it down, bring it all the way to the edge here. And after much fiddling, we get this kind of situation. Now, there was a dormer on this little spot here. I think I'm just going to add like a decorative one instead of an actual one because honestly, I can't be bothered. And then there is roofing alongside or along this side of the house. I think I was just using a copy of these back here. I'm just going to put this one right here. That looks actually quite good. And then I'm just going to copy and put this one here as well, and then do yet another one on this side too. This is where I'm kind of taking some creative liberties again, because this house isn't real. It's really hard to kind of see every little detail like this. So I'm probably just going to add like a couple little pieces on the end like this. I think I want to make some changes to my plans. I'm just going to bring this out like this, and then just put some more roofing here. There's so many pieces of roofing in this build, y'all. And I'm just going to place them down like this. Because this is a bedroom, I want there to be some windows here, of course. So we're just going to add like a little balcony, you know, a teeny little creative liberty balcony. Okay. That is the roofing fairly sorted. I'm looking at a reference and I can see a couple things I would like to change. I'm thinking this floor here honestly could be taller. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it looks. It doesn't look bad, but this is what's bothering me. So I could try raising the roof a little bit, but I feel like it would be too tall. So maybe we can add a frieze. Honestly, I didn't think about that. We should try adding a frieze. It doesn't look bad, actually. I mean, we can even go with something smaller like this one, but I think that doesn't look too bad. That looks better. The proportions just seemed a little off because this floor here was a lot taller in the original. So I feel like that actually will make the interior look so much better because this is supposed to be kind of like an attic-y space. So I think that looks pretty daggone good. However, this is kind of bothering me. I don't really like the way it looks because there is literally windows up there. There is a little tiny bit of a roofing, but I don't know if I can add any. I don't know. Let's add this. I may have to make them a little lower, and maybe we can go from there. I'm not sure. How is that? They should be a little shorter, I think. The thing is, I can't go up a floor any higher. Now, there is a little trick. I may have to redo it later. So what we'll do is we're going to place a little room just like right down here. And then we are going to take this room and hear me out. We're going to go all the way up. I know that looks kind of dumb, but hear me out. We're going to take this and align it with the top of that the best that we can. We will go over here and we'll place down a roof. We're going to basically oh no, roof must be built on even base. Okay, hear me out. We'll just pull it over this way, push it over this way. That way it's floating. We'll delete this and then we're going to basically just move it over like this since we can't pick it up and move it. I hope that this does something. It's probably going to cause some weird glitches with the roofing beneath, but we're just going to have to like trust the process. Oh no, I don't know if I can do this. Actually, hold on. Wait. Oh no, it's not working. Alrighty, so it's been a fair bit of time. I can't do it the way I was doing it, unfortunately. So we're just going to use the tried and true little kind of roof decorative thing. I don't even know what it's called. It's from Cats and Dogs. It's just called the original. I can't just enlarge it like this, so I'm going to use the tool mod to scale it up 1.5 times instead of 2, because that's the exact right shape or size. Maybe I could go a little bigger. You know what? Maybe I could go just a little bigger. I want it to be like to here roughly. Actually, that looks pretty dang good. That's the closest I'm going to get because I can't place a roof up here. That's such a strange limitation. But I think the roofing is finally finished. Everything is pretty much good to go. I just want to work on a couple little things. So Sally's balcony right here, this fence bit here is not showing up for some reason, and I'm not sure why. So I think I'm going to lift this platform up maybe a notch. That doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, I remember now what I had to do. This is really complicated. I had to place down the fence, but then I had to bring the eave up to the fence instead of just putting it down. See, there we go. I may do that with this little spot right here as well, because it doesn't really like show too much when you do this, thankfully. All right, and then I'm going to place down the Strangerville fence. I was really torn on what kind of fence to use, but the Strangerville items they just look so good. And it's literally like Victorian-esque vibes. This house is, described as a Victorian. So, of course, we're going to use the Strangerville items. It's absolutely beautiful. I just love these. We're going to use this on these. And I believe up here, I'm going to probably use the other Victorian one from Strangerville. It's this metal one. We're going to place this down all around up here. Actually, upon looking at the reference, it almost looks like the fence for up here matches what's down here on this part. So I'm actually just going to put this instead. That looks better. This part of the build is going to be a lot of jumping around. So bear with me. This is going to get a nice little trim. I think I'm just going to use this simple one. And then underneath this, there's going to be a number of corbels. But we're just going to place them just like this. And these are from cats and dogs, of course, just like so. And there is some more trim right here. I don't know if I just want to use this freeze again. I'm not really a big fan of using freezes. I don't know. You have to like be on the floor and then like do this. It's kind of just weird. So I think I am going to place them down the best that I can for this space. But see, it just kind of clips in a lot of areas. So I don't think I'm going to put them everywhere. And we can also put some trim down, but I think, see, that doesn't look that great to me because I feel like this part shouldn't have any freeze on it. That looks better. There is some trim there, but it's very thin. And then this part is also a tiny bit tricky. I don't really know exactly how to best do it with this home here, this roof. But there is like a little, there is some little bits here, just on like the corners. We can kind of replicate that just like so. But there is like a really pretty like decorative bit that goes just right here. I actually have no clue what I can use to emulate that. I may just not do it. Let's get creative, okay? Let's go into displays. And I think we'll just find this white shelf. And I know it kind of has something like this. Okay, that's something. And then we can maybe put a couple there too. Maybe we need to go down like to here. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. And then it's almost like this is like filled in almost. I can't really do that, not gonna lie. So I'm not gonna try to, but I think what I'll do is, let me see if I can place a column here. I can place a column. I wonder if I can lower it. Ooh, hang on. That's kind of something, and then maybe we can go into the corbels and get these like smaller ones and just kind of like do something like this maybe. And then we need to work on this little like archway kind of balcony here. Obviously, we're going to put in some more corbels. These corbels are going to be our best friends in this little build. I'm going to shrink shrink it down just so it fits into that roof a bit better. So for Sally's balcony, I did have to place down some spandreling right here. I'm having some issues with this balcony just because there is like an archway that goes like right here in the roof bit itself. I have an idea that I'm going to at least try out before I, jump the gun and say no. What if we did another bit of roof here? Hear me out. And I hit Shift C and make it rounded. I think this might actually be kind of close to what we're going for. Maybe if I can bring it in a little bit like this. Oh, it doesn't really round when it's like that narrow. That might be the closest we get to this kind of scenario. I think that's what we'll go with. That doesn't look too bad though. So we're just gonna go with that. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think the only thing I really need to work on is just placing down some spandreling and some columns down here on this little porch area. And then it kind of, we'll just like double it up right here. That looks quite nice actually. And I'm gonna copy this spandreling that I used up here and we'll just place it down right here. You can't really see it all that much in the build in general anyways, but you don't see it in the original house. And if you place your spandreling down and you don't really see a lot of detailing, you just click on the columns again just to kind of like activate them, and then you actually can kind of bring that back and it's just a nice bit of detailing. That looks so good. I do need to add some trim onto this little room here, I think. Maybe something a little bigger for that. That looks so much better. Okay, and I'm going to do this thing again with the roofing. Fences and roofing, I guess where the roof bits are kind of technically considered walls. It's a little tricky to place them down sometimes. So, all right, we got a little balcony there. That's not really part of the actual build, but you know what? It's fine. It's creative liberty. Okay, so balconies and everything I think are pretty much done. We've got the, the columns placed down. We've got roofing done. I think we are good to go to move on to windows. This is God, y'all, this is a long build. I weirdly really love the windows that came with growing together, because I was considering using the cats and dogs windows, but the growing together windows just have something about them, especially this one. There's just a bit of detailing that I think that looks really good. I just wish they were a little bit bigger, but I feel like that just looks correct to me. Like that looks so pretty. I think it's the framing of them. Just looks really good. And plus there's like some really fun detail that looks kind of whimsical. So I'm gonna just go with it, I'm gonna copy these little roof detail bits that I added over here. We're gonna do something like that maybe, just to add a little bit of extra detailing. And I'll go ahead and put in some of these, I guess we'll put some of these little, little shelves. Sometimes adding just a little bit of extra detailing like that is really what makes the build look good. And we'll just lower this down. Columns cannot be any shorter. I beg to differ. I beg to daggone differ. Don't you dare tell me that. Okay, I guess it's just not gonna work. Okay, thank you so much, Sims 4, for just being so great. All right, so anyways, after my little rant, we are also going to add a little dormer here. Again, I said earlier, I am sorry. It's going to be a scattered build. This dormer looks kind of cute here. It's probably the best that I'm going to get. I'm just trying to find something where it matches like the roofing, because the roofing on this house is kind of like a light brownish kind of tone. I may just have to place this one and just kind of hope for the best. I'm just going to use this little dormer here. I don't know. I think that looks okay. It's not great. I'm going to go ahead and we'll start with some windows. I'm going to use some of the growing together windows. I'm thinking I'm also going to use some cats and dogs and Strangerville. We're going to try to use a blend of those. I'm starting to think these windows aren't really that good. Maybe I should just go with the windows from Strangerville instead. There's actually a double window that I can use here. I feel like that looks really nice. It's kind of weird, because on the tower here, it's like there's a double window here. There's another double window just up here, like right there. And then on this level, there's a single window, just a single window, just like that. Okay, and then there is a door right here. We are just gonna put another one of these windows down here. And then there's like a 3 wide window here. I think I'm gonna use this one from the Growing Together pack. You know what? Those don't necessarily look bad together. I am going to kind of go with it, I think. Again, I'm being so jumpy, y'all. We're going to do these windows from Strangerville down here naturally. I'm just going to kind of place them down just like this, where they're pretty evenly placed throughout the room. It looks like there's actually a door here. So maybe I'll just place some windows like so. I'm probably gonna have to go through and adjust some things for sure. And then I'm gonna do the windows the same way over on this side as well. Just place them like so. There is something that I needed to kind of look at. It's kind of weird. There's like this little balcony area back here. It actually, you know what, in hindsight, after looking at this once again, it actually stops here. This balcony doesn't exist actually all the way to this point. And there's like a weird little window right here. This is the one that's from Get Together. It's going to be the best one for this, but it's like this kind of situation. It's real awkward. It's real weird. I'm not really exactly loving it, to be honest, but it's the closest that we've got because it almost looks like it's part of this floor instead. Like it looks low. Like it looks like it sits just like right here. Maybe we can get by with it doing that. I don't know. And then we will go back to the Strangerville windows. I think I'm actually going to use these big ones since we can fit them over here. I'm going to put some windows just like that. And I'm pretty sure there's a door over here somewhere. We'll get to the doors. We're just doing windows currently. And then right back here, I'm going to lower this again. Actually, it's kind of rounded slightly on the ends. So maybe I can do just like a little bit of something like this possibly and just kind of lightly round it up a little bit. And then, well, actually I kind of liked it having a very slight little tip, just something like that. And then on this part here, it's actually like a big bay window. I'm not really going to put a actual bay window, but I'm going to put like the best that I can do as a bay window. Like I think I'm just going to do like 3 of these windows just like that. And then maybe I can even use move objects, but I don't know. I kind of just like the way it looks that way. Okay. I think that's good. I'm actually going to change these windows right here to these little itty bitty small ones. Let's put these like that. Looks like there's another window right here. I'll just do one of these double windows. A lot of windows for that bedroom. I'm going to put little windows up here. And then I'm going to lift this up a little bit. This probably won't be very functional. It's really just for exterior purposes. Is it centered with those windows? It is not. It's centered with this. And then these windows are just kind of like placed wherever. But I am supposed to be able, let's lower this down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we'll get rid of these walls right here. Maybe this is just like another back entrance kind of area. We'll put staircases like here. I think that works. And then we can put a door here. I'm just going to place this as a placeholder. Okay. That doesn't look bad. Okay. That looks to be roughly what it is. What I want to do is I'm actually going to take this balcony and bring it in a little bit. I'm going to bring this one tile out so that this is like 3 tiles in size here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this piece, flip it around and bring it over here. And I'm going to use a bay window back here, yet another one. And I think I'm going to probably use, let's see, we could use something from the medium wall height section, but I think I'm going to do the just short wall height. I feel like this one might do for now. I don't know. We will probably make some changes like throughout the building process today. So just bear with me. Right here in this little Creative Liberty balcony that I built, I'm going to put down just like a couple windows like this. And I'm going to go ahead and start placing down doors now, I think. I really would like the doors to feel right. So we'll look at the cats and dogs ones. I think those actually work pretty well in comparison. I'll just finish placing down. I think I'm going to put the door actually right here in the middle. Should I use a door from Strangerville or a door from Cats and Dogs? Because to me, that looks absolutely beautiful, but I don't know, the detailing of these doors from Cats and Dogs just look good. Or not Cats and Dogs. What am I saying? Strangerville. Oh, wait, this one actually kind of works better. Ooh, yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, we'll use that one there. I think we'll use the same one. Maybe we'll use a different one. Maybe we'll use this one on Sally's room. I think that's beautiful. That adds some nice detailing there. And then we do need to pick out the front door. She's pretty important. But there we go. I'm just going to use those doors. I'm just using those doors from Cats and Dogs because to heck with it. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, this room right here is going to get glass walls because why wouldn't we? In hindsight, I think we need to rethink that. So I think I'm going to first and foremost go into Greenhouse Haven. That's a given. These windows are beautiful, but I'm just kind of like not really loving them for this. They just don't have that same detailing that the original had, because I feel like the original just had so much more like oomph. And to be honest, the walls are lined with cabinets. I'm looking at some screenshots of the actual like movie. It's like these two walls here are covered in glass and windows. This wall has like cabinets and shelving for all of their plants. I think I'm just going to go with the windows from Life and Death. As kind of sad as they look, this extra bit of detail is absolutely beautiful. And then there is a door just like right here. So we'll put a door here. I think we may even just use this same door. See, that's what I'm talking about. I don't really like the sheer difference in color because that doesn't look right. This looks like these are metal and they've just rusted over time, not they're white with a bit of patina, you know? Okay, but like, what do we think of this? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of really like the way this looks. I think I'll put the door here and I will just kind of use move objects to place down these windows. These are just base game windows. And to be perfectly honest with y'all, I actually think that looks so much better than what I was going for originally. And then we can even put just like a couple on the ends here. If I sound super nasally, it's because I have just been sneezing like crazy today. Autumn is beautiful, lovely, wonderful. The allergies, okay, they're allergenating, okay. And then we got to pick out more windows for this kitchen. Okay, so I'm also going to make yet another executive decision. I think right here I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm also going to push this in. I'm going to get rid of the wall here. We're going to make this bit of the kitchen a little bit bigger because there's literally, this is what drives me crazy, is there's windows in the kitchen for some reason. And I'm like, what? Like above the like counter and like the stove bit over here. Oh my goodness. It is so weird, but we're just gonna work with it. I need like little windows too, and I don't really know which ones other than these ones from Cottage Living. These aren't really quite what I'm looking for. Oh, hold the phone. These from Growing Together are literally perfect. And let's see. Oh, this window ain't it. That's not it. Let me look at some more reference. Let's see. Let's look into the Strangerville windows. Oh, wait a minute. This is kind of perfect because the window itself has like 3 sections in it. Actually, that's kind of nice. I think I'm going to go with that one. That's very, very pretty. And I can't really see any on this side, but I am going to add windows regardless because, you know, you got to have windows everywhere. And now I just need to find some archways. Now the archways, ooh, and the front door. This is not the right front door because that front door, it's like a really pretty like dark wood. Like it's honestly kind of like this, but there's no windows on it. That's intriguing. How strange. Maybe I can use this door. That's kind of a look actually. Ooh, this one from the base game isn't so bad. We could also just take some creative liberties, but I really want to try to make this as accurate as possible. You know what? I think I'm actually just going to go with this door from Strangerville. That's actually very beautiful. I know that it doesn't match the windows necessarily, but I don't know. I feel like that looks good because then I can go in with the like the archways that will match. But then again, that doesn't look right either. Goodness gracious. I promise once we get to the furnishing portion of this build, it will be so much easier to get through it because it's just we're building off of vibes more than anything. Oh, okay. I know what we can do instead is what we'll do is I'm going to place down a couple of these. We'll do like 3 and then, or not 3, we'll do 3 tiles in width and we'll place on some of these. We'll do dark wood on the columns. I don't know if that's right. And then we can, oh, well, I meant to actually leave the wall and then we'll go in with the spandreling and we'll just find a spandreling that kind of has that bit of detailing in it. There is this kind of doesn't look bad. I actually quite like that, but it's very plain. There's like a little bit of detailing in this. Maybe this one. Ooh, yes. All right. So I took a break And I went ahead and I mapped out some areas with just some pathing here. And I placed down the rest of the doors and some other things. So let's just start by picking out the siding for the exterior and also the roofing, the trim, all that nonsense. So when looking at the roofing, I am partial to use this one because of the color. It just kind of matches really, really well. And like, I don't know, I use it all the time, but it just, ooh, that color is just right. Is there a swatch of this that kind of matches? I don't think so. That's fine. It doesn't match in the actual build. It actually looks to be like a light color, so we could just maybe do this blue. I think I'm just going to start with just placing down a really simple just white siding. Ooh, why does that look better? Because this looks gray and this is just like clean and white and beautiful. It's vertical, which is the only issue that I have with it. There's also this, which might even be better. This is from Growing Together. Yes, it's a very clean white siding, but it doesn't have like that gray kind of shadowy cast that the base game one does. It's very bright and clean, and honestly it might be perfect for this. That looks like we're going in the correct direction. Something I'm noticing too in this is that there's not enough corables. I'm going to do some of these small ones. I didn't put enough of those kind of throughout the build, I don't think. I'm adding some of these little things, these little roof decorative pieces that these came with Strangerville. There is a few that came with some other packs. Just this one just has like the nicest color. It's just the clean white color that works really well with all this. Pretty much any roof that is like this is getting one. So I'm just going to place them down like so. And I'm basically just going to go around and add some more of these little bits of detailing. And I shall meet back with you very momentarily. One last bit of things that I need to add is this column right here from Get Together. And it's something that, you know, we used to use so much more in the past, I feel like, but we kind of just don't anymore, which is fine, I guess. It's really cool. It's just this little column that is very plain. It's so plain, but it's perfect for cornering off houses, especially with siding, because it just makes it look more finished. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, the perfect thing to put on like a corner here of a house, because it looks like it's part of the siding, essentially. Like, because, you know, a lot of siding will have like a little corner trim piece, and not all of them do in The Sims 4, unfortunately, and not all of them work in The Sims 4 either. So, I mean, they do work, but they're very like, you can't like place them yourself. They just kind of appear, and it's great when it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. And it's just very disappointing. Last thing I need to do is add some trim, both to the roof and as well as I think these half walls. So I'm going to go into half walls, and we're just going to do a white trim. Low-key want to use something with some really fun detailing. This one from For Rent is really pretty. There's also one from the Love Struck pack, which is also very cool. Businesses and Hobbies has one that's really nice and chunky. You know, I don't necessarily mind that. It adds a bit of color variety there too. Ooh, there's a little bit clipping right there though. That's a problem. Maybe we should just go with the classic trim that I always use. It's this one right here, beveled out roof trim. It's honestly the best one in my opinion, because it does not clip into the house the same way that a lot of other roofing like trims does. Like, you can just place it down, and if there's like a roof piece against a wall in the like an interior, it doesn't show up. I don't know how to explain it. If I ever encounter it, I will explain it, which I'm probably going to in this build. Obviously, we're nowhere near done because we have to add in some ivy and some vines. Of course, we've got to add in stuff to make it look, you know, more witchy and stuff. I'm going to look over at my little mood board. I have a whole, basically I have a whole board on my Milanote of just so many screenshots from the movie, like too many screenshots from the movie. And there's even more that I've got opened up on my screen right now. There's a lot of plants, and there's a lot of like ivy that's kind of like this, but without any flowers. I might just do the one with white flowers. Again, if you know better than me when it comes to this house, please do leave any like suggestions and feedback in the comments, because I need it. I desperately need it. It's just, there's just so much going on with this house. Oh, I was wrong. I'm looking at the images now. There's a ton of ivy. Like there's some growing like here. It's actually like technically growing along these like fence posts. I'm not that good at doing that. Like, oh, I can kind of put some there, but it doesn't look that great. So I may just add some plants and stuff there to kind of mimic that. Ooh, I may have to delve into the cottage living, like this stuff, the wisteria. Oh no. And I'm gonna have to, y'all, I'm gonna have to replace this with full walls, which means I'm gonna have to redo that. Okay, I'm gonna do this really quickly, and I will meet back with you momentarily because I'm going to have to do this first. Okay, I added some of that ivy just like around this part, and that's looking so good. I'm not going to lie. All right, and then we also need to pick out the flooring. I don't know about the flooring for here, just because it's just like, what do I put up here? I guess I could just put some kind of like tiling or something. There's not really an image of the top because it doesn't really exist. So I guess I could just kind of go with anything. That does look very nice actually from a distance. And then I can just add maybe like a worn wood right there. I don't know if that looks good. I don't know. It might not. But sure, I might. See, I don't know. If I do that, it just feels very like, I don't know. It seems like it should be that just because it is, by the sea, and I would expect something to be kind of like washed out, kind of faded. I weirdly like this a lot. It's this Wild West wood from the Get Famous expansion pack. I kind of like it for this exterior bit. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's what they had. Upon closer inspection, it does look like there is a darker wood right here. So I think I'm going to use a type of staircase that has like a similar kind of color. Let's actually pick out the wallpapers and flooring, or at least for the most part, for the interior. I am just going to go with this really simple wood right here from the base game. Pretty much in all of the pictures I saw, this was quite literally what they had. And you know what? It's probably better to even use that outside too. Yeah, that looks so good outside actually, just because it's a nice rich wood tone, I may change my mind later, but I'm just going to place it pretty much in every room just to start with. The kitchen, that is a good question. I got to take a look at some more reference. Oh, the kitchen is also all wood. Awesome. That makes it so much easier for me. So now we're going to be working on, I think, just this area right here. We really need to focus on this part. I'm also going to be doing the landscaping. I removed some of that pathing that I placed down just a bit ago because I had an idea, but I thought just before we get into this, because with this build, I'm realizing now I really need to just focus on areas, like specific areas at a time, because it is such a big expansive build. So we're going to work on this garden space here. I am looking at a screenshot from the movie once again, and I'm just using that as reference. It's not going to be perfect just because it's kind of complicated because like I can't really zoom in on one specific spot and see very well. So I'm just kind of going off the vibes. I was going to use these patches here from Cottage Living, and I honestly don't think I want to use them. I personally like the idea of kind of just building some kind of raised beds Possibly, I don't know. I think I might even be able to use the half walls for this. So after more inspection, this looks pretty good, but I think I am going to do like 3 main sections of this space, and I almost want to bring this in a bit more to where it's like to like right here. I feel like this is a little bit too much. Yeah, and there isn't a pathway leading up to this really. It's just kind of like there's a gate and that's it, which is actually, you know, I'm not really mad about that because doing the pathing was kind of complicated, but I'm going to use these little half walls here, and there's going to be like 3 like beds. Like they look kind of rectangular, but I may have to adjust the shape. Well, actually, it doesn't even look like there is half walls on all of them. Maybe I can just use some terrain paint. So I think I'm going to do maybe like, let me just look. I gotta look at the angles. How does that look? Maybe a little bit more, just to here. So we're doing 5x4 tiles here. Is there a gate from this side of the fence? I don't think there's actually a gate here. It's probably just another one here at the end. I know that this end has a really cool archway, so I do want to leave some space for that too, but I'm just going to try to figure this out here. Do 5x4 here. And can I do, oh, I think it's just right to do this where there's like a little pathway in between. Now, obviously, I don't know exactly what plants were, you know, in this garden space. Gosh, I don't even know how they did this in the real life house because it looks so lived in and so used, yet this is not even a home. This is just a facade. I'm just like baffled by that. So something like that. And then we'll go in with some kind of pavers, some kind of gravel, some kind of terrain paint. I'm just going to do this, and I may actually go in and soften it a little bit, you know, take like a really itty bitty brush and just kind of go in with a light hand and just kind of erase it away. Something like this maybe, just kind of go through, show some of the grass through there. Something kind of like this where it's like, you know, there's not just rocks and stone pathing. It's a little bit blended in. We could even probably go in with a grass kind of like terrain paint as well, just to kind of help. Ooh, actually, yeah, that looks really good. And just do that in kind of some spots, just to kind of soften those edges a little bit. And then I do notice that there is like these 2 here in the middle. I'm noticing now that the pathing is actually a little bit like in the middle here. So I'm actually going to do like 2 small ones on this side, and just we're going to do something like this here. This is just a guess because I can't really tell. That actually looks really good. And I noticed that these are the ones that are the raised beds is what I'm thinking. The only problem I'm having is that these little half walls are showing through. I'm gonna see if this works here. It may not work. It does not work, unfortunately. So maybe instead of using the half walls, I think I'm just going to place down some like garden boxes instead. I'm thinking of just using maybe these. We'll just kind of place these down here for now. I do like the way that looks. It breaks it up a lot. So I think what I'm actually going to do now is I want to put some actual plants in some of these. I'm thinking in like these big sections, I may just do some fake plants. I, at the very least, need there to be a lavender section for sure, just because, you know, it's literally in the movie. Plant lavender for luck. I would rather it be just the one from the base game if possible. Yeah, and so we can just do some rows of lavender just like this. Oh, this already looks so pretty. Just this being here. That looks so pretty. Oh my God, that's absolutely stunning. I actually love how like uniform that looks too. So I found some plants on the gallery, specifically some tomato plants. And I don't know what's going on right now, but I noticed this in a viewer house renovation that for some reason, when you place down anything, any kind of plants like this from the gallery, the like harvestables just kind of fall off and they don't stay on the plant itself, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, that's an issue. Honestly, I'm literally just going on the gallery and looking up different crops, and I'm just going to place them down just so that there is something here. We've got tomatoes. That's fun. We'll just have some tomatoes there. Ooh, actually, I found this by Lucky Heather. There is a little thing of herbs. So we've got some carrots. That's not really what we need. Let's see. Grapes, blackberries, parsley. I definitely want to place down some parsley. And it doesn't really matter too much about how perfect it is because, you know, it's supposed to be a little bit of a wild looking little garden space. So I'm just gonna, you know, finish filling that out. And I think I'm gonna do some trees here. I'm actually gonna leave them in these little planter pots. Just to make it kind of look like there's something like surrounding them. So we have a little garden here. I may go in and add some decor, but for now, I'm just going to focus on the landscaping finally, which this is kind of a very big part of this build. Not gonna lie. It's kind of hard to see exactly what plants there are just because, once again, it's, you know, a movie and you can't really like look exactly. So I'm really just kind of go with my gut, you know, just place a lot of plants down that are lush and green and full of life. I feel like a lot of purple and yellow and like just wild plants. We definitely gotta, I mean, I'm not gonna put lavender because they have lavender growing here. Ooh, these alliums are gonna look really pretty here. We'll do the purple ones for sure. We're definitely gonna use some of these delphiniums from that, I think it's Romantic Garden, I'm pretty sure. Just lots of layering flowers and just kind of making it look really lush. It's gonna take a while, so if I make a lot of cuts here and there, that's why. I've gotten a nice little variety here that I think I'm just gonna throw around, see how I feel about it. We definitely have to put in some rose bushes for sure. I do think I want more green plants, like greenery, you know. I feel like I've gotten a good amount of flowers here, but I think it's time to throw in some of these like more bushes to kind of cover up the house a little bit. It also looks like the entrance here, see, this little spot here bothers me because from this angle that I'm looking at, it looks as though this staircase is actually like here and the door is here, even though there's a door from the like conservatory here. So I think I'm just going to extend this and put the staircase here instead. I'm going to put the staircase right here instead because that lines up with everything a lot more. It's away from this, and I'll leave this door here and I'll put another one right here because this is where our little patio is. Okay, and then let's see, I'm going to get this bush back. I think I'm going to put it like right here too, just so that there's like a nice little bit of separation here. I am probably going to do the rest of the landscaping off of camera by myself just because it's just going to be so repetitive. And I know y'all have said before that you don't mind it, but I do. I'm gonna be honest, I do, because editing these videos already is gonna take me so long to edit this one, so I need to pace myself to a degree, you know, because not gonna lie, I'll be a little transparent, I guess. Editing these kinds of videos, like an hour of footage, we'll say, you know, if I've recorded for an hour, I will usually get about 30 minutes of usable footage out of that, give or take, sometimes 45. That's just kind of an average. And that means that it takes me about 2 hours to edit that 1 hour of footage. And I'll put it into in more perspective for y'all today. I have already recorded over 2.5 hours of footage for this, if not more by this point. And so that's going to take me about 5 hours to edit. And we're not even close to being finished. And this is all going to be in one part too. I know that that's probably leading to it too, is that I'm doing it all in one video, but I prefer doing everything in one video because I don't like doing different parts. I kind of like this look. It's a little too colorful. Like I feel like the variety of color is just too much. This purple I think is standing out way too much. I think that looks a little bit better with those alliums gone, because the alliums are honestly just so big. And I think just putting in some more of these delphiniums, since they're white, they kind of go with the house. It doesn't like stand out, but it adds some verticalness. That's very pretty. And then right here, I'm going to go in with probably, it looks to be the same as this. It's also very like neat and uniform. This is not exactly how it looks, just because I kind of am having a hard time figuring that out, but it kind of goes like this. Sort of. It looks like it kind of is rounded right here, and then there's like a pathway that I've kind of not left enough space here, but there's like a pathway that goes down this way, but I kind of love the way that looks. And then this is filled in to be kind of a patio, but I'm having a hard time seeing what's over here, so we may just have to kind of guess on that. Y'all, I'm seeing it now. It took me a really long time to actually see it, but it looks like they have, this is a huge bit of progress. I just figured this out. There is a door right here, of course. Like obviously the conservatory has a door, like literally like it's like right here actually, but I'm gonna put it here instead, I think, because there are more stairs leading up to this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna get rid of this little section of like house there, or flooring or whatever, because the staircase just kind of leads up to the house. There's not like a porch or anything there. It's the same way here. I almost need to move it over one more tile, but I feel like that won't look right, because the thing is, in The Sims 4, I can't put two staircases like directly like next to each other the way that it's wanting it, because then I would have to put it right here, and then that looks really bad. Honestly, not loving that at all. And that is in the right spot. This one is, but this one is not. It needs to be farther over one tile. So I think that's what I'll do. Okay, we're just gonna kind of restart here. That is more correct feeling. And then let's see, I can put another one like right here, but you can see how they kind of conflict, I guess you could say. And I think it's mainly because of the height of the space. So I think I'm just going to have to move the door over one tile, and we're just going to have to kind of go with that. I actually think that looks really good. We still have enough space for landscaping. This little corner here, I think I'm just going to leave it and just fill it with like a hydrangea bush. That kind of looks good. Maybe some, maybe some of these delphiniums kind of on the side here. And then maybe some of these like little itty bitty flowers here on the edge. I kind of want to use these everywhere because they're yellow and they just kind of look really, really pretty, which this doesn't need to go here because I can't tell if the pavement or whatever they done goes right up against the house. I think it does. I don't know. This is also just not it either. Let me put this all back over here just to kind of finish this off a little bit. All right. So that is this little section done. I will be doing the rest of the landscaping off camera, at least around the house. I am going to go ahead and start furnishing it right here. And I'm just going to place down plants that I think would just look nice. I'm not really going off of the actual screenshot that I'm looking at, just because I feel like if I do, it's gonna be really hard to match things. So I'm just kind of looking at what looks right for here. Some other plants just can be like displayed out here. Maybe we can even put some empty pots, because if I place down live plants, they will die so quickly. But we can kind of just make it look pretty here. Ooh, there's this little barrel of tulips. That looks very pretty. Probably this one. It's going to be a little work in progress here. Trying to figure out like the nice way to lay it out. Maybe I can put this on like the end because it almost looks like there's like a row of potted plants here. I think that looks really good. I kind of want to put some kind of like trellis or something here. I could also just use the one from Live Edit. Ooh, this looks really, really good here. Definitely place that down in way more spots for sure. I can also put some decorative pots from the, what is this? The Greenhouse Haven kit. Those are going to look very good right here, I think, as well. Maybe we can put like a little thing of, things and some more like little bits and bobs. Maybe we can even put like a table out here, like they brought it out here to work on or something. There is another little spot here, which the path thing just looks so weird in the movie. I'm probably just going to take my own creative liberty because it doesn't show a path coming from here, but there is another path like on the side here. I think from the other side of the garden. And I'm like, I don't know if that is actually a path or not. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to kind of just create a path that leads from the garden to this little trellis situation. I know that there are roses growing near this. This is a pretty significant thing for the film. There's a part where one of the girls, Kylie, is standing by the window and Sally is like, can you please go to the garden and get me some mint? I've already asked you once, please, And she's like, no, I'm not going out there while there's the man under the roses. Sally and Jilly are just like, what do you mean the man under the roses? We don't see anything. She's like, he's right there under the roses, which first of all, isn't that so scary? Like that was such a low-key scary moment. And they were just like looking at each other because like normal circumstances would be like, okay, girl, you're just making this stuff up. But they're witches. They know better. Her daughters are honestly so smart. There's like so many moments in the movie where the girls pick up on something before they do. All right, so right over here, I found these little rose lattices, which are so perfect. I really want the red though. I want the roses to be red, and there's pink ones with this white trim, but this looks right. So maybe I'm just going to go with this. We'll try to kind of build something here without actually using walls. I'm just going to do maybe something like this so that it's still kind of open. I want to put some like seating over here, and it looks like I don't even have a good view of the seating. It's like super dark. It just looks kind of like a wicker kind of situation, like a white wicker seating. So I'm gonna see if there's just something I can put. I know that there's that one from the Movie Hangout stuff pack. Like that's kind of a given right there. It's beautiful. Ooh, it's not white, but it does look very pretty. I don't know if that looks good here though. That's the question. Does that look good? It actually looks more like there's just a couple chairs, actually, the more I'm looking at it. I low-key just want to use maybe these from this kit here. I'm pretty sure this is the Courtyard Oasis kit. It's not the exact same. It isn't, but it honestly fits the vibe very, very nicely. I just want like a little table, like a little coffee table that I can just kind of put. That honestly matches the vibes beautifully. I actually quite like that. I wish this wasn't here, but that actually does look pretty accurate to what's there. So I feel like this is pretty good. I'm not loving how this is looking though, to be honest, because it doesn't look that like curvy and nice. It's very like straight cut. Maybe I should do like the path here, then do this. Yeah, that looks better to me. So it looks like the pathing actually goes from like here, and it literally just kind of goes around in a narrow path just to the back. Very simply like that. And then there's also just like a narrow path that leads from the front here, which I may kind of take a creative liberty with that and make it a little bit wider. I may make it a little bit more narrow, but it kind of leads from the front there to there. That looks so good actually, but the foundation, I can't even see it because there's just so many bushes. So I think what I'm going to do is just find one that matches the trim there pretty well. I'm thinking honestly, just something like this maybe, but I kind of just want it to be brick, maybe even like this brick. I kind of like that because it does provide a bit of contrast. And I feel like seeing the dark brick in between like plants and stuff would look very nice. While I am doing some of this landscaping here, how are y'all doing? Hope y'all are enjoying this long video. It's going to be a bit of a process, like I've said, but it's definitely a fun one though. I was kind of getting a little stressed out by it because I've been working on this, planning this build for what feels like months at this point. Like it's something that has taken up a lot of time for me. It's definitely not something I'm just kind of doing off the cuff, like on my own like this. Like I'm actually taking a lot of time to go through like screenshots of the movie and I don't know. I'm looking at like references from like websites. I'm, doing like even looking at a website, like I said earlier, looking at a website that has plans for this house for like building a miniature dollhouse of it. It's more than just like looking at a picture and being like, okay, I'm just going to build it. It's so much more than that. And then for the trees, it looks to be like there's a tree like right here. I don't really know what kind. It looks kind of like a bigger tree, low, like the branches are, it's like split kind of low. So I could even like get by with using something this big maybe, but maybe shrink it down like here. I don't want to go too close, but I really like that. And then there is some like skinnier trees here. I mean, I could obviously go with this from the Cats and Dogs pack. It's a birch tree. I don't think it's the exact kind of tree that's here, but I'm going to put it like right there. There's definitely like way more trees on this property for sure. I definitely need to figure out where to put them. I definitely think I'm going to put one like maybe like right here or something. Oh, and we're definitely going to put in some of these maple trees too, because they are kind of already around in Brindleton Bay, and I'm not really going to go crazy because they have a nice lawn. Like, it's clean. There's just some plants and stuff near the house, and I'm going to probably work on this area here soon. The thing is, I have no idea what's back here because this area is never shown. So it's kind of a little bit of a challenge here. So I'm just going to maybe just do like a path this way. Maybe we'll just have it be just a path, and then maybe I can just fill in these gaps with more landscaping, just kind of go around, and that might be all I do. I do think it would be nice to kind of put some of this landscaping like also around the garden space, like not a lot, but just a little bit to kind of add some life to it. I think the next thing I want to work on is the fence that's up here. It looks to be like a white picket fence. We do have the one that I already used from Strangerville that honestly is really perfect, because the one that is in the film it's not exactly the shape obviously, but it's not like a straight picket fence like this one is. It's more like spaced apart and stuff. So I think this one is probably going to be the best bet we have here. This seems to be actually a pretty nice distance. So I'm just going to do this. I really don't know the extent of the fence, if it's just literally like the front of the property and that's it. There might be some over here, but I'm going to just claim that this fencing is kind of like replacing that. So what we'll just do is I'm just going to place like some more trees around. I may shrink some down, just kind of mix it up a little bit like this, throw in some more of these beautiful oak trees here. We'll do maybe I'll put this one like over here, put a maple one here, do like this kind of setup, something kind of along those lines. Now there is a gate here. I also forgot right over here, this gate actually, there's not a gate, it's actually an archway. This is kind of cute, but I don't know if that really fits very well. Maybe this one actually. I mean, the fencing in the gate isn't like super lined up perfectly, but you know what? I think that kind of does the trick. And I think honestly, because there is a gate here, I think I'm just going to put this here instead though, just to kind of help, provide a little bit of an entrance there. That looks very pretty, honestly. And then I can go in. I think I'm going to go in with a different tree here than I did before. I might do maybe like this one right here or something. I don't mind that being there. And then I do want to put in some of these pretty dogwood trees, because I think that would add in some realism, because I feel like, obviously these are from Cats and Dogs. They are definitely going to be in this area. I want to find something that I can put along this fence to kind of add some ivy into it. This for sure looks pretty good, but it's kind of dull looking. I know we have some different colors, but I think this would also look very pretty. I don't know if that looks good like completely covering it though. So I'm thinking we will use this some more, just because it just looks so stinking pretty. Oh, yes, of course. And then we can maybe even put some of this here. Probably we'll just go through and lift it up with the 9 key for a few spots, just kind of every now and then, just to kind of add some variety. I'll like throw this in, maybe even put another one of those. It's not exact, but it definitely looks pretty good. Okay, I think that actually looks very, very pretty. It's a pretty good dupe. We could even layer some of this in there if we wanted to. Actually, that looks really good too. Alrighty, so I am going to cut back once the landscaping is pretty much finished. There's not a whole lot left, to be honest. And then we can actually start the fun part, the furnishing. Okay, so it's the next day. I wanted to give you a couple of updates here. So you will notice I uninstalled my terrain mods. They were causing a little bit of lag in this area. I think that's what was causing my issue. It's not completely gone, of course, because this is a really big build. So, it's going to be a little laggy. I also finished up some landscaping. I just kind of, did a little bit of natural landscaping around the trees and stuff. Just, added some things around the house. And I think it looks pretty dang good. So first place I would want to furnish, weirdly, is this tiny little side porch here, because there's actually a scene in which the aunts are sitting here and they're enjoying a little luncheon, something like that. And they had just cast a little spell for Sally and her, first husband that actually dies. But yeah, they're just sitting there and being like, most excellent. You remember that part. Hopefully you do. But we'll just put like a little table and chair here from Paranormal here. I wish the lighting was a little bit better here, honestly, because it'd be kind of nice if there was some more natural lighting here, but it actually looks like they have like another one over here, surprisingly, but it looks more like a living chair. So I'm going to put this table, like another one, just right over here maybe, and then maybe we can put a couple of just kind of side living chairs here, something that makes sense. This looks kind of nice, but I don't know if that really fits the vibe. Ooh, maybe we can do some rocking chairs. Actually, I feel like that would look kind of cute over here. Just a couple like that. And I'm just going to furnish this kind of in my own style too, because I'm not really super concerned about it being perfectly accurate. Like, I want you to be able to like load up into this lot and still see my own little bit of flair on it. So, ooh, that is the perfect rug right there. You know how much I love this rug. I'm just going to probably just put fairy lights would be very pretty. Maybe we can do just like a couple little strands. Oh, those one dried flower thingamadoodles. What are they called? I don't remember. They're from Realm of Magic pack. This right here. It looks so good. It looks like they pulled some lavender from over here and they're letting it dry. So I'm thinking the front here, we don't really see much, but I think what we should just place is just some benches or something. I think personally, the bench here from the Cats and Dogs pack would be so perfect. Should I do white or should I do this like wooden tone? Or should I do like the dark brown tone? I think that would look so good. I think I'm going to put one here, and then I think I'm going to put one there too, maybe like right in the middle. I'm really unsure of what to put over here because honestly, it's such a hidden spot and it's one of those areas that you just don't see. So I think I'm just going to put some of these plants just around, not anything super specific. Ooh, I want to put these at like the entrance. This would be so pretty right there. And then maybe a nice rug here in the front too. How does this look here? I don't think I like it. I think it's too colorful. That's kind of pretty though. I'm not super concerned about overcluttering the front porch. I do think we should probably add some little cushions. And let's see, we'll just lift these up 4 times. We'll do 2 for each. No, we'll do 4. We will do 4. And let's see. So I want these to just have a color that works good. Green, maybe orange. Maybe I'll just mismatch them. Maybe I'll just go a little bit wild with the colors. I tend to go the same colors every time, unfortunately, but I think it's gonna look very nice regardless. Maybe we should do purple instead of the green. I don't know. I wish that was more of like a light lavender purple color instead. Maybe we'll do like this light blue. Oh, that's kind of nice, actually. I quite enjoy that. I'm gonna just do the same thing right over here. I think the porch there is good. I don't think there's anything right here that needs added. I low-key want to add a grill somewhere just so that they have one. I feel like this one would fit really nicely somewhere. There is something I did think about doing with the conservatory that I don't think I will after all, but I was actually considering lowering it down or creating some kind of like platform or something to where this is like a step down, but just the way that it's set up, it's going to make it kind of difficult for the Sims to navigate it. So I'm just going to take that creative liberty and just make it not that. There is a nifty little overhead shot of the conservatory in one of the scenes, and I'm looking at it right now. So this flooring is actually pretty good. This door, the colors aren't right. And it also looks like there's windows here too. So maybe we need to pick out some different doors for this room. This door kind of works. That kind of looks like the door that's there roughly. We don't unfortunately have a matching window to this, which is such a shame. I wish these windows that they added in had the wooden swatches. That would have been such a fun little addition. But right in the middle is it looks like a table. I'm just going to use like a dining table or something. It kind of just has like a pretty traditional looking shape and style, sort of like this one. Actually, I think it's a little bit of a bigger table. There's a larger version of it. Yeah, it's definitely a longer table. So we'll use this one right here in the middle, and it looks to be just a nice simple white swatch. Oh, this is very interesting. It's like a grouping of cabinets. I can imagine maybe they store, like plant supplies and stuff. Ooh, this is quite close. Ooh, this one's almost perfect. Yes. And it looks like there's just a bunch of shelves above this little kind of display here. I think I'm going to use these shelves here from Cats and Dogs, just because it does look like there is some like little, supports underneath them. So I'm just going to move them into each other just like this. And it does look like there's actually a lot of ivy and vegetation and stuff growing in here. So I'm actually going to maybe bring some of that into here. I know this is a little excessive and it's covering the window, but trust me, it's all about the vibes. Something like that looks really good. Ooh, this is so pretty. And then they just have a bunch of, I'm talking a bunch of potted plants in here. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have a hard time cluttering up the shelves. But what I'm going to do really quick is I will just pull out some plants and show you all what I'm going to put down. And then I'm going to probably cut this out, but I'm going to clutter up the shelves myself. Yeah, there's going to be like little pots of like mini plants like these from Greenhouse Haven. And then we can throw in maybe this plant, and I can probably throw in some of these. A lot of terracotta and a lot of like white ones too would look really nice. Obviously my favorite plant, the philodendron, very cute. This one from the it's another kit. I can't remember. I can also throw in some of these pots for the live plants from Enchanted by Nature. This one's also very pretty. I love that swatch. And yeah, I'm just going to go throughout and add a bunch of plants on these shelves really fast. I'm going to use the red shelf here by Picture Amiibe, of course. It's the OMSP shelf, one of my favorite items in this game, custom content-wise. And I'm just going to, clutter up the surface like this, ever so carefully. It's going to take me a little bit, so I will meet you back here in a moment. Okay, so I just added a bunch of plants. Very cute. Oh, I love it so much. This is my dream. This room right here, to have this in real life is to be rich, honestly. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to use the same siding as the exterior in here. I low-key want to use this instead. Oh, that's just so nice. And then it looks like the rest of the space is just more tables and more, plants. I mean, it's a conservatory. What am I trying to say? So I think what we'll do is we'll go into a couple different kits. I'm going to do blooming rooms, and where is it? I can never find it. Greenhouse Haven. I'm just going to click show all, and there is some very lovely objects from these sets. These are absolutely beautiful, and honestly they're so perfect for what I'm looking at in the reference photos that I have right now. They fit so well. But yeah, we'll just add more plants in here. I don't think I'm gonna have any rhyme or reason. They're just gonna be kind of scattered around, like they're taking care of a ton of plants. I really like this planter. I feel like it would look so good against the wall there. That's very nice. But yeah, once again, I'm going to go into Greenhouse Haven and Blooming Rooms and just go to all objects. And we're going to just look in the items together. I always forget about this thing right here. Oh, it's so perfect for a room like this. There is a white. I think that does look very, very nice. Then we can also put one of these tables again in here. I feel like that's so perfect for inside here. We can put some of these like little pots in here, and then maybe like one of these plants or something, or these items here, very cute. These are just like little, I guess, like what are they called? Like just like little solutions, you know. We can also throw in some of these as well, just so that it's like, oh, they're getting some stuff potted. In fact, we can actually put this on the surface here. We're just gonna, you know, make it look like they're potting some plants in here and stuff. Ooh, like this item, so perfect for that. Little propagation station. I think I'm gonna put this over here instead. I think that looks so good right there. I'm honestly not super used to seeing this item, so it's very nice. I think this is starting to look pretty good. Ooh, this little thing of sunflowers would be really cute. There's just so many things that they have like scattered on this countertop over here. There's no rugs in here, unfortunately, but it does look like there's a ton of like petals. So hear me out. I know we have this. Do we have like a white petal rug? I'm pretty sure with the City Living expansion pack, we got a rug that it's this one right here. This one, it's very extreme. Maybe we can like put a couple in here. Like we can like cover the floor, and then maybe we can just throw in some rugs on top of that just to kind of hide it. So it doesn't look like there's like any sharp edges. It looks more intentional. Maybe we can put like this right here in the front, and then we can also do another one of like these woven rugs like right over here. We'll do this rug like right here at the door, of course. Maybe this rug can go over here. I don't know. I kind of like all these rugs. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's the vibe though, isn't it? For some reason, I'm seeing like a little bird cage, so I'm just putting this here. I think this looks really cute. That's actually kind of spot on. Ooh, this like little bucket from Cottage Living would look cute somewhere in here. This little other bucket from the Country Kitchen Kit, which, ooh, how about we look into that? That Country Kitchen Kit is pretty dang nice. Place this table in here from the Paranormal stuff pack, and I think we do need to put a couple more of these in here as well, just because that's actually how it looks in the movie by the looks of it. And I guess we can put some lights in here, some candles, you know. We can get rid of these lights that I put down for now, just temporarily, and then we can go in with some more little candles. I feel like the ones from Life and Death are going to come in handy so much. Ooh, these candles right here would be so perfect. Ooh, yes. Ooh, this little item from Enchanted by Nature, that is so stinking cute with the little mushrooms in it. How adorable. Then maybe we'll even throw in some of these as well, since, you know, it's an old Victorian house. I feel like that would look very cute. I think the more darker, like copper, bronzy kind of color would look good. Ooh, and this Tiffany lamp would look really good in here, just like right there. Okay, that's something, you know. Well, maybe we'll do like this, and then we'll put these back up. Ooh, I quite like that a lot, actually. Okay, this is not really looking so good to me, to be honest. Like, I feel like this shouldn't be here, neither should this, and I actually don't even like that table very, very much. Like, I low-key just want to use more of these tables and just do like two right over here and just kind of line them up the best that I can, because that's really what it is. It's just there's like tables lining this back one from what I can see. No, I just now noticed. Okay, hold the phone, y'all. I finally found a screenshot of Sally talking to Officer Hallett. And first of all, I can see a cart right here. So this is pretty close, but I can see candle making. And let me tell you, this is the perfect build for this. I can basically see like a rack that they have of some hand dipped candles like sitting. Honestly, what a good little detail. Let me go into debug here. Hopefully I can, yes, these. I'm just gonna put like a bunch of these over here. Like they've just made a bunch of candles. Wow, we'll do some of these as well. Eco lifestyle. I love you so much. But yeah, it looks like they just have a table with a bunch of them on that. I mean, I'm almost feel like I can see a sink too. So maybe instead of this table, we find a smaller one. Yeah, we'll just do like maybe this table, and just do this all over again. You know what? I'm just gonna get those searched back, because picking those all up and putting them back down, that just sounds like a nightmare. I just want to have a Victorian home. I just want that, you know. Can I just have a beautiful Victorian home in New England, where I can, you know, make candles and grow lavender and just live a beautiful life? I think I'm going to use this sink here just because I really like that sink, actually. I think that's pretty cute. I may come in here and do some more tweaking and add some more stuff later. One thing I did add here was some beams right here in the sunroom here. It's not perfect, but I was going to add in a light here, because it actually looks to be that there is a kind of old-fashioned looking like light, like this one kind of. There's one that I know, I don't remember which pack it came from, but it would be so perfect for in here. This one, it's from high school years, I believe, but it goes right here, and I think it's like a lighter swatch, like maybe that or something. Yeah, that looks pretty good, and I was wanting to add that, so I put those beams there to kind of help blend it in a little bit, make it look, you know, realistic, make it feel right, you know. I think I want to get rid of these, and I want to put the apothecary table out here. This would be pretty dang perfect for, you know, a witchy house like this one. And maybe this as well would look really good in here. Probably in this corner, just right here, a little cabinet. That's actually kind of cute. I think I actually see a shelf right here too in the screenshot that I'm looking at. But all right, let's just go ahead and we're going to move on to the kitchen. The kitchen is very interesting. I've got these countertops just kind of here. This is one of those moments where I need you to trust me. Trust the process, because it's not going to look exact by any means. I am going to use this right here because there is a fireplace here, but it's like a fireplace that has a stove built into it. It's a little bit complicated. So I'm going to scale this up until it's about the same width as these two walls right here. So I'm going to do 1.25 to start with. Ooh, that's actually real close. So maybe like 1.3, we'll say. Oh, that's absolutely perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to like lower it probably to like right here. That's actually perfect because I'm going to put in these stoves here. I may just put this stove from the cottage living pack because that's actually very close and very similar to the stove that I can see. And then I'm going to do some kind of experimenting, I guess you could say, with the countertops here. And it's going to be a little tricky because there's going to be like normal ones here. And then I'm going to put like end pieces on the ends. And then I'm going to put like a piece like this here maybe, or is it this one? I think it was this one actually that I used in my little plans here. That don't look right. So let me find, I think it was this one. I can rotate it maybe. I don't know. That one doesn't look right either. Okay, I figured it out. It took me a second because I needed to look through my plans. So it's actually a little bit sticking out like this. And what I'm going to do is go in with this cabinet here, and just with the corner cabinet, I'm going to do something like that maybe. I know that looks a little strange. It does, doesn't it? But I think that's as close as I'm going to get with this space. And then along these walls, I'm going to put in some shelves that will match this as well. I think I'm going to line it up with like this right here. And we're just going to do some like this. And I'm going to put these columns because this is kind of the closest to what I'm going for possibly. I'm just going to place these ever so slightly just like that. I feel like something's off. I see the issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tool mod and I'm going to slowly move it forward, this like little fireplace thing here, just enough so that I can actually put these shelves kind of up against this just ever so slightly with move objects so that they kind of look like they're built into this whole situation. And then I'll do the same thing with these shelves as well. That looks to be working pretty well. The lighting isn't perfect, but we're just gonna work with that. So I think that is looking pretty good. In this little back of this here, there was an item that I actually figured out. This item here would look pretty good, I think. It's a little bit dark and dingy looking, but it at least does something back there. I was actually considering doing it for the whole wall, but it was just a little too much. So I'm going to use just some kind of tile. I think I'm just going to use this tiling because that's how it looks in the movie. And now I guess what we can do is just focus on getting the rest of the room filled in first, and then we can do like the decorations and stuff like the clutter. So there's like a rustic table that goes here in the middle. I would love to use this one because I feel like it would look so good in here. Ooh, this looks more like a picnic table. Like it's not a picnic table. Of course, it's not a picnic table because it's inside, but it looks more like a table that has like stools at it. So like low key, I want to use this one from Journey to Batu. Like that's so good. It's not exact, but like it's pretty daggone close. That looks kind of nice. There is like a little itty bitty table right here too, like a little side table. I think this one might be the closest. I think that's cute. So now we're going to add more countertops right over here, and then right here in the middle, I'm hoping I'm correct. This is where the sink is, which is kind of a weird spot for the sink, honestly, but hey, it's an old house by the looks of it. And we'll use this farm sink right here. So this item right here is kind of perfect to put above this like sink area because there's actually something like that in the movie. And I can probably also like layer it with just some normal cabinets. Maybe just these from Cottage Living would look good. Kind of like this setup here. It's not perfect, but it's kind of close enough, I think. I need to work on this part of the kitchen. This is an interesting little spot because it is kind of like an entryway into this little kind of breakfast nook, I would say. And it is kind of weird, and it's going to be kind of hard to replicate in this game. So what I'm going to do at first is I'll place down some walls just like this and put down some cabinets. Now I think I'm going to use the cabinets from the this set here just so that I don't cause too many mismatched things. I think they technically go up to the ceiling, which is, I'm not sure if that's going to look good or not, but it's going to be a little tricky. But I'm going to place these down just like this, I believe. And I'll do the same over here. I feel like that does not look great because they are very samey, and I think maybe I should just do like one like this and then maybe one like this, or just a regular cabinet. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll do something like this so that it doesn't look too symmetrical. I'm also going to place a spandrel on these two walls, like back here, these blank walls here. The only one that I can really find is the one from Snowy Escape. It's so that this kind of looks like it's part of a wall. Technically, it does not look good yet. This is probably the best it's gonna look though. And then this part is what's bothering me right here. So I think what I'm gonna do, since it isn't going to look the same anyways in the build, I think I'm going to put down a half wall right here. Yeah, I think putting down the half wall will look a little bit better. And then let me put that spandrel back onto this. And then we're going to use the columns, I think, from Snowy Escape. Actually, we'll use that one just because I know that there is a white swatch that kind of works. I know this looks kind of strange if you've never seen the movie, but that's just the best that I can do. Actually, it looks like I could make it a little bit lower, the half walls here. But that looks good. It's supposed to be like you can see through here. And then I also think I'm going to use some some corbels, probably these small ones from Get Together, just to kind of fill it in, make it look a little bit more intentional. You know what I mean? It's just supposed to kind of help add some shape there. I think that is probably the best that we're going to get with that little setup. And then I also need to add in a table. The table is a little tricky because, again, it's one of those areas in the house that you can't really see all that well. So I'm just going to find a nice wooden table. This one from Adventure Awaits. That's actually super pretty. We don't have any chairs that look like the ones that are in the kitchen here, just because all of the chairs that we have aren't like, they all have backs, and these chairs are like stools, which is unfortunate. So I'm just gonna find a chair that kind of suits this. Honestly, maybe these kind of look good, but I almost want to use the ones from the laundry day pack because they are my favorite. Something like that is okay. You could probably go in here and add a million different tables and it look right. And then we also need to put a little table right here as well. I would really like it if it was one that had like a tablecloth on it, because the one that is there has one. This one is from Dine Out. It's not exact, but it's close enough. I think that's pretty decent. And the chairs look like they are just kind of simple rustic chairs. I'm just gonna go with these from Cats and Dogs because you can't go wrong with that. That's actually not bad looking. This room, there's like 2 pantries on either side here. I think the ones I'll use, honestly, it might just be one of these taller cabinets. This isn't really quite the color that I need. I wish this white wasn't such a clean, like crisp white, but we might just have to work with it and just use these. That does look pretty nice. It does kind of, actually, yeah, that looks really good. And then I will also add in like a little like a shelf here, because it doesn't look like there's anything here other than just like a kind of a windowsill with some plants in it. So I'll just probably use the base game like shelf. It looks like it's like a wooden tone, so we'll just do it like this. And there are no curtains, but there is some more of these corbels here in this dark wooden swatch. Honestly, this is just because in this room, I believe in real life, the set had beams across it. I'm also going to get rid of this window because this window feels a little out of place. It just seems like there's too much going on in here. So I'm going to do something like this here. Now I've got to do my best to figure out just what else I need to fill this space in with. In fact, I'm going to extend this counter here and just put like something like this. Maybe actually, never mind. I'll also put in just an extended little cabinet right here. Actually, we should probably just fill this all in with cabinets. That would look really good. Yeah, that actually looks beautiful. It does look a little strange right here because of how I did it, but that looks really cute actually. I almost wish there was a window right here. It kind of would fit perfectly. Okay, cool. I added a little window there just to add some more light. And now we can do the fun part, decor. Ooh, there is something though that is a bit off. This feels very narrow and cramped. To be honest, I almost want to bring this down a notch. I know that this will be a little bit more narrow, but it actually looks to be that narrow in the movie, so that I can move this down and then place this right here, because there needs to be another cabinet right there. That's so much better. And I think honestly, I'm just going to do the same thing as I did over here and just add more cabinets just to kind of fill in this space. I'm not going to get this perfect. I know that for sure, but I'm going to try my best to do something that actually works pretty well. And I think actually what I'll do is I'll just do a kind of copy of over here, because it looks like there is sort of a cabinet along the wall. I'm just going to do that and then just fill this in right here. And then the Country Kitchen Kit also has some cabinets that can actually work so well with this. In fact, I kind of want to mix them up. That looks really good that way. Love that actually. That adds in some detail. And then I can add in these. That's not exactly what is there, but it essentially is. It's close enough. There isn't a rug or anything here. There's just a table, which I need to move like a little bit farther down. I feel like this table is even bigger, but I'm just leaving it that way. I think I'll also add in just some other things like a coffee pot and stuff. I'm not really sure where it goes, so I'm just going to put it like kind of where I think it would fit the best. I do want to add a little stand mixer because I actually see one in a screenshot, and then maybe I can do like a little cookbook somewhere. Maybe it can go right here. I think that would look really nice. I'm gonna also clutter up these shelves over here the best that I can. Honestly, I'm just going to kind of throw a bunch of stuff over here and see how it looks. They actually have shelves along this side over here, and oh my god, this placement, y'all, these slots, man, I'm not gonna bother. But I Yeah, I'm just going to throw in some stuff up here that looks cute. I'm not really trying to make it super accurate anymore because it's just really difficult to do that. I think I'll just mismatch these here the best that I can. And then we'll do some more jars and just random things. The kitchen is finally finished. I went ahead and added some clutter and I'm really happy with the results. I cluttered up this area over here. I did it by myself because there was just so many items. And then right over here, there is, some light clutter just right over here. I didn't want to overdo it here, keep it pretty clean. And then you can see right here the setup here with like this table here. I changed out the table because I wasn't liking that one with the tablecloth. But the next room that we should obviously be working on is the pantry. This room's honestly so important because there's a whole scene in the movie where they're in here and they're preparing like a spell to get rid of Officer Hallett, pretty much, Jillian and the girls. So I'm just gonna do these two cabinets like this because this is kind of as similar as I can get. And then there is another smaller one right here that's just like kind of like a little short white cabinet. Ooh, this would also look good in here from the artist studio kit. I'm not really going for accuracy here, y'all. I'm going for vibes. Okay, I'm a vibes-based builder is what I'm gonna say. And then I'm also gonna put this display cabinet here just to, add some variety. Maybe we'll mismatch some things too. I don't know. I'm just kind of building and just vibing, I really can't think of anything else off the top of my head. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I could just put this here, but I just feel like that's not good. So I think I'm actually going to go in with maybe just some cabinets or something from a pack. Ooh, I think this item will work pretty well. It's not exactly the same as what is in the build, but it's close enough. I think that looks kind of cute there. And there is like a little table here. I feel like I'm going to have to use an accent table and it just kind of goes in the middle right here. This one is honestly kind of perfect. We'll just put it kind of like in the middle right here. Do this color. Ooh. All right. And then now what we need to do is go into decor and find some clutter items that will work. I know for certain we do need the mortar and pestle. I have it here somewhere. Yeah, we need this little mortar and pestle. It's so tiny. I wish it was a little bigger, but I'll just put this like right here in the middle. I may even size it up just so that you can really see it. And then we'll do this white version right there. And then I'm just going to do some plates and stuff, but I'm also going to put in like some random jars and things. I may also use like the move objects kind of trick to place this stuff down so that I can clutter it up a little bit more in here. Honestly, really just random items just throughout this room is going to be the best way to fill it up. Maybe even some like this jar from Country Kitchen Kit. Maybe this as well. It's cookies. We can pretend that there's herbs in there or something. There's an item that came with vampires that would look so good in here. I wish it was a little bit bigger. I mean, maybe what we can do is get rid of this and just like double this up. It kind of looks okay. And then we'll just give it this like dark wood swatch. Maybe this one. Actually, we'll do this one. Why not? Sure. And then I don't think there's a rug in here from what I can see, but I'm going to put one anyway. I'm just going to put this one from Laundry Day because it's just a simple little rug. And then I'm just going to go through here and place down some random little plants, of course. Not that it should be in here, but I don't know. It looks better. Ooh, maybe we could just throw in some like little jars, maybe even in the floor. I don't know. I kind of think that's a pretty good room. I really think we need like some more plants in here though. Like, ooh, this one would look cute in here. Why not? Just add some greenery. And then I am going to add in a light. I think I'm just going to use that one light bulb from Laundry Day. Kind of can't go wrong with that. In hindsight, I don't like this at all. It doesn't look very good. I think I'm literally just going to go in with this instead to kind of act as that cabinet because this almost gives cherry wood vibes. And I can also just kind of put it like all along the wall there. And honestly, same for over here too. I just think this is a little too complicated. Ooh, that does look so good. Honestly, that fits the vibe perfectly. Okay. And then we have this little nook here, this little kind of hallway section. There's not really any reason to put anything in here other than just like a light and maybe like a little hallway table right here. Something like this is actually very, very cute. We can do this dark wood swatch and then just do kind of my usual little trick where I put a lamp a plant, and then a little decorative item. I think this lamp would be so nice in here. And then we just need to look through the decor. In fact, let's put the lamp in the middle, and then maybe we can find some kind of plant to put here. This from Cottage Living is actually so cute. And then maybe we'll even just do a little candle instead of, I mean, I know a lamp is there, but like candles, you can never really go wrong with candles in this game. Like, candles are just so pretty. And then we'll put a little rug right here in the middle. Probably just that one woven rug from the Cats and Dogs pack. How cute. That looks good. Kitchen, all this is done. Look at that. So much of the build is already finished. The next room is the dining / craft room. And this one is not really featured too heavily in the film. So I'm just going to kind of decorate it and furnish it in a way that is it just makes sense. Long story short, I'm just going to do the best I can. Okay. So I'm going to use this table probably from the Get Together pack. Love that. That's very pretty. And then I think over here, I would like to put a piano. I think that would actually be quite nice over here. Probably this one has got some stickers and stuff on it, but I'm wondering if there's just a plain one. Ooh, there is. That's very cute. I think that would look really nice. I remember them having what looked like a spinning wheel or some kind of contraption. So I'm not exactly sure what to put other than maybe just some nice chairs and then maybe some knitting baskets. We could even do the chairs that came with the Nifty Knitting pack, but these from the Life and Death pack are kind of perfect. So I think what I'll do is maybe over here in this corner, make it a knitting corner. I may even throw in some other skill building items too, but I'm going to add in the knitting basket. I think that would be perfect right here. We can even do both of them if we want, but I kind of want to do two. I kind of like the idea of maybe doing like a smaller one or something. Like maybe flip it around and just kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's too much. I'm going to add just a little knitting basket just there. And I think honestly, there should be like a floor lamp or maybe even a side table with a lamp on it. I think that would look really nice. And of course, I'm going to use my favorite, this one right here. I think we'll just place it kind of like that. I'll use this lamp from For Rent. I think that would look very nice. And then I'm also going to use the floor lamp that came with Cats and Dogs once again. And I'm just going to plorp that right over here. I low-key want to do another one, just like right here and do like this kind of situation. That looks actually so nice. And I'm seeing some kind of like lace curtains covering the door here. So I think I'm just going to put some of these in here maybe. We'll see how this looks. Actually, I honestly really like the way that looks. That's very nice there. I think I'm actually going to add these to the rest of the windows here. I just need to, adjust these lights that I placed down. I think I might just do less because less is more, isn't it? Yeah, that looks good. And then let's see. Bookshelves. Of course, there's going to be bookshelves everywhere. Okay. We'll put one like maybe right there. And maybe a differently shaped one over in the corner. Maybe I'll just do like this Life and Death one because you know me, I can't get enough of this Life and Death set. It's just such a good pack. Like honestly, 10 out of 10. A nice painting right above this piano would be perfect actually. I really like this one. I don't know, it fits the vibe really well. And let's see, I don't really know what else to put here. So honestly, maybe just for the heck of it, I can put like a couch or something. Maybe something that isn't really like sat on as much, but it's just kind of there to fill in the space. Maybe just like that. That actually looks kind of nice. And the chairs, oh dear. I think I'll use these chairs from Life and Death. Honestly, looks very nice here. I do see a rug. So there is a rug in here. I kind of want to use this one from Growing Together. It's very pretty. Ooh, that one especially really speaks to me. And then I'll just put a little rug right there. Honestly, I think I'm just going to throw in some other like furniture, like chests and like cabinets and just, maybe a grandfather clock, just a bunch of other things in here to fill in the space. Something like this would look kind of cute, maybe. I kind of like that. We'll do another one of these lamps, just one of these over here in the corner. I'll even change this swatch so it's like a normal one. And then I'll add in another one of these little nightstands or side tables here. I think that looks very cute. I think we do need a grandfather clock also. That would be perfect for right here. We'll get rid of this light again. Okay, cute. And another lamp and just some plants, y'all. We gotta go crazy with plants and candles. There's just not enough candles. All right, I think this room is complete. Just added, some candles. Oh, well, there needs to be something here. Let's add those tomes from the base game. You can never go wrong with those. But there's that room complete. We do need to work on this little entry kind of foyer area. The lighting is what's really making it look a little off, I think, in here. So I'm going to use these wall lanterns here. That warm color is just kind of so pretty, and it adds more to the vibe than it does actual lighting. And then for the overhead lighting, I think I want to honestly use the same one that I used in the kitchen. Put one there, and then we'll put one like right here, I think. Ooh, yeah, that makes it look so good. I'm gonna put this here as like an entryway table, and I do see a little candle holder, so I'm obviously gonna use one. The one from Get Together might actually be perfect because it's a little simpler, or better yet, we'll just use this from Love Struck. I have not used this candle nearly enough in here. And I guess maybe a little pile of books here would look very nice. These tomes would look good, but I don't want to use those too much. I'll just use a regular little stack of books. Honestly, we should just do one candle and then maybe a plant or something on the side there. I think I'm just going to use this base game one right here. It's a very simple little plant, but it works really well. Over here in this corner, I'm looking at a picture. It does look like there is another little table. I think this time we'll just do like a little nightstand, and I'm just going to use this lamp here. I think I'll just do like this painting here, this map, just because I don't know if there's anything else, unless we do a little mini portrait of Lady Mimsy. That one's always worth it. Yeah, that looks so good there. And then right here, we'll do a little coat rack kind of thing, I think. I mean, that just makes sense to put that there. And then is there a welcome mat? There is not, but there is a rug in here. So I think what we'll use is this one from Life and Death, maybe. Ooh, that is pretty, but that's not really the right color. I really liked this one from Growing Together. I'm going to use this swatch instead, though, because that's kind of close. All right, I think that is pretty good. There does need to be some more art in here. Just a petition to either allow me to download CC. I really should just download some custom content art. I also just want more art in this game because honestly, and I want all the frames to match. That's the stipulation too. I want more matching frames. I'll just put that there, and maybe some over here too. Like, I would love it if, say, we got a painting like this, and the frame was, a variety of colors, but we also had a variety of paintings within that frame too. That's just me though, And I'm gonna put this here, and I think I'll put maybe just this other like portrait right here too. I don't know, something like that. And actually right here, there's a little seat, a little like something like this. That is so cute, so perfect. It actually looks like dark black like this, like all this actually does, but if I do that, it'll be too dark for my taste. So I'm just gonna put a couple little pillows in this, and then we'll move on to the living room. I'll just use this color right here. Just a nice, simple little beige, can't go wrong with that. All right, that room is done. I will probably do this room off camera, or honestly, I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's not really supposed to be here anyways. This room is now the living room, and honestly, y'all, I am making some decisions here. I think that this is a little too, it's like one tile too big. So I am just going to make the executive decision to make it one tile smaller. And we just move this back a tile is all I'm going to do. And then this room can just be like chunk, just like that. That looks so much better proportionally whenever I'm looking at this image. This also, the windows are not white. They actually are black, like a black brown that matches. I'm just going to leave them the way they are because, well, maybe not. Hold on. Maybe we can get by with it. Just for this side, maybe we can ignore it. It doesn't really bother me too much. And then there is like some bay seating here. That's one thing I can't really recreate the best, but I will do what I can. I mean, that doesn't look terrible there, to be honest. Like, I actually don't mind it, but it isn't obviously made for this space. But I also don't want to like change it too much. So I'm thinking what I'll do is maybe I can like angle these in a way. Ooh, hold the phone. That looks incredible, actually. That might be just what I need. If I can find a swatch, I mean, this is probably the best swatch that we're going to get. Personally, it's not my favorite, but I don't know. I think we can kind of work with this. There's going to be some clipping, of course, but we can honestly just cover that clipping with some pillows. I don't really love the color of these pillows anyway, so we can just use move objects and these cushions. I'm just going to get one out for each to kind of cover it up essentially. And I think we'll go with like browns and the beige and just kind of that variety of color, I think. Now let's see if we can do this. We can put this right here. That kind of peeks through, but we'll trust the process. We'll put one maybe right here, and then maybe another one shrunk down can just go like this. And it kind of hides it. It kind of works. And then I'll just do another one right here. And then I think I'm just going to start like a whole mess of pillows here. Oh, this one is lifted up too much. We're going to lower it back down. Something like that. And then we'll lift another one up here, put it like so. And then I'm just going to try to place them in a way that kind of just like looks more natural, like they've just thrown them down. Okay, let's see if I can do something like this and then put another one here. And then maybe I could just put this in the front, and then I'll change the color of this one to like a green or something. These are not finalized colors. Don't you worry. I'm going to play around with it some more, but do something like that. Okay. And I feel like we need to put some smaller ones here too. Something like this, and then maybe another smaller one, just like right back here. Okay, this looks awesome. The colors are just not my favorite. I could just go with this lighter wood. It doesn't look bad. And then I'll mainly do like some browns, and then maybe we can throw in like orange and like purple. I don't really like the green. I kind of like that. Just a couple little pops of purple. Is it perfect? No, by far it is not. But that at least works for that little corner. I'm going to use this from Life and Death just because in the original house, the real house, if you will, or whatever, there is some of these like beams. That actually kind of looks good there in a way. It's just not going to look great because I can't do it for the whole thing. I don't mind that though. I think what I'll use instead in this corner are these curtains from Vampires. I think I'm going to do like a dark purple too. I think that would actually help a lot over here. I can't tell what curtains are actually over here, but I do see some purple tinge. And then right here, there is a pretty normal looking couch. I can't really tell what the colors are in the pictures I'm looking at because these are very old, but it looks like just a dark brown couch pretty much. I'm just going to use this one. I mean, it's the most simple looking couch, and I think we can make it work. It looks more like it's a gray, but I'm going to go with a brown because why not? And then there is two different mismatching chairs kind of like on either side here, kind of aimed towards it. I mean, I kind of want to use just a plain chair because it looks like one of the chairs matches the couch and the other one is a bit more of a different, more unique shape. It looks almost like this one, but this is not the right style because it's very patterned. Maybe I'll just do like a couple of these just because these are really, really pretty. We can do this swatch maybe, but there is some little paws, which I don't really like. Well, maybe we can do like one of these and then maybe one of these from Life and Death or something like that. This one from the base game. I think that looks good. This couch though, I really want there to be something with a bit more detail since we're already going detail heavy with these. I think this one from Cottage Living actually is really good. And then we need some little pillows for them as well. I think I'm just going to keep it pretty minimal and just do like 3 here. We'll just do something like this and then just one on this side. Actually, I can't do that. That's so silly of me. We'll do this maybe. And then I'm just going to move these back. There is like a little table right here by the looks of it. I'm pretty sure the image that I'm looking at is quite literally, it's from a magazine, I think from like the 90s or something. I think I'm just going to use this table again because I've used it so many times, but it's the perfect table. And then for the rug, I'm probably just going to use one from Life and Death because Honestly, out of all of them, these are some pretty beautiful rugs. This one especially, I think the default swatch actually is perfect. Is this even centered into this room? Oh my goodness, it is not centered in this at all. Just gonna move all this over ever so slightly. There is a little coffee table and it does look to be kind of an oval shape, but I could be wrong. This one kind of looks good. I could use a small one. I think this one from Get Together is honestly perfect because of, it just matches. It's just really nice. And then it looks to be like there's just candles and random things just scattered about. So of course I'm going to use some beautiful candles. This one from Love Struck honestly has got me love struck. But then I'm also going to use maybe a candelabra here instead of that. Maybe we'll put it like right here. And then I'm guessing it looks like there's multiple candles on this table. Ooh, this item would look really cute here. That's so perfect. That's actually so stinking cute. I love that. I'm also going to throw a little tea set here just for the vibes. And then we'll just look up and get some books here. Probably like this notebook. I always love putting this in my builds. Okay, that looks really cute. I honestly feel like this room is a little too big. There's also a piano over here as well. Well, why not? We'll just put another piano. And it looks like there's a bunch of stuff on that one too. And it doesn't actually look like there's a window here, which is awesome. Actually, maybe this is just the right size because it's starting to feel better now. And let's see, I do see a lamp over here. So maybe there is like a little table here in the corner. I'm just going to keep using this table because honestly, out of all of them, it just looks the best. We'll use my favorite little lamp here in the corner. Oh, it looks like I can put one on top. Oh, hold the phone. We're doing that instead. And then instead of this, we're just going to put a bookshelf here in the corner. And you know which one I'm going to use. This one. Oh, it's just such a nice bookshelf. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm also going to put some candles over here. I'll just put another one of these little candles. I'll put a stack of books here too. And honestly, I think over here we can put a chess table. I think that might be the best bet for filling this little area in with something that actually like functions. So we'll just put one of these and we will put some little chairs down, probably the ones from Paranormal. And I do need to find some really nice curtains for here. They just seem to be some pretty basic looking curtains, so I guess I can just go with the ones from is it Desert Luxe? I'm pretty sure I low-key want to use those. I don't know, is that just too simple? I don't know. I think it looks pretty good actually. Instead of a curtain rod from that pack, I'm actually going to use this shelf from is it Country Kitchen Kit? Maybe this will work, maybe this won't, I don't know, but I'm just gonna like put two on top of each other here. We really don't have any good swatches, but I don't know. I just want some kind of shelf that will like kind of connect these, but also look more still like vintage and stuff. Probably this one right here is probably going to be our best bet. I don't know. That is a little bit ridiculous. I think I'm just going to say to heck with it and use the same curtains that I used in the dining and craft room and then go in with some of these after all. Actually, I can just size it up and do that. That kind of looks really nice actually. And then let's just put some wall art here and maybe some more bookshelves here. Maybe even I'll put a TV or something too. Ooh, this little painting will look cute here. And then I'm trying to use different ones every time because I would just use the same thing over and over if it was up to me. Ooh, this little painting would look cute. It gives me 90s vibes. And let's see, over here, I definitely want to implement some more bookshelves for sure. I think I'll just do like two on either side, something like that maybe. And maybe I'll put like one of these little tables here in the middle. I'm going to overuse this table. I love it. Unless we find something else. Actually, no. We will use this table once again from the Cats and Dogs pack. That is perfect. And then we'll put in a little TV. I kind of want to put in like this old TV just for the vibes. And then an old mirror above this would look super cute. Not an old mirror, an old picture or something. I think just because I don't really have a lot, I kind of want to just do Lady Mimsy again. I just think that looks so good. Okay, I think this looks pretty nice. I'm gonna probably do some adjustments to some things and then I'll meet back with you here in a moment. I decided to also make this room like another tile smaller by bringing this wall in, just because it was looking proportionately a little off in the reference images I've been looking at. This would look really cute there. I think I'm just going to put a desk. You know, you can never go wrong with a nice little writing desk here. And then I'll use this chair from, probably this one from Life and Death once again. It's just super nice. And then maybe I'll just do like a little rug, just like this one. Ooh, I really like that actually. And then we need some more of those curtains. I'm just going to use these same ones once again. I will, of course, move these lights. Don't you worry. I'm thinking just some more plants and lamps and just random nonsense to fill in the gaps. I think I'll put this lamp here. Maybe I'll put another chair. Why not? Let's just put another one of these chairs. Maybe this rocking chair from Life and Death once again. I think it's so pretty. And then maybe just a nice plant. I kind of want to put this one. Just add in some greenery. Put some little flowers right there possibly. Putting a phone here too. And then I think I'm just going to add... I use this item so many times in my builds, but this right here is just so perfect. And then I'll also put maybe another one of these candelabras right here. Honestly, that just adds so much good light here. That's cute. I think like this should go over here and then this should go here. Yeah, there we go. All right. And then I'm gonna add another light here maybe. I feel like this just looks so empty, and I feel like I am obligated to put a couple little clutter items in here too, but unfortunately there is like no slots in this, it feels like. So I'll just try to put as many little items as I possibly can. I'll just use my favorite thing in the world, this OMSP shelf, and we'll just add some decor. I'm sick of it. Okay, I'm tired of all these, items having little to no slots. It's so frustrating. I want to put clutter everywhere. I don't know. I'm just putting random things in here, so it just fills it in a little bit better. But all right, there we go. That is the living room, finished and furnished. It's not overdone either. I like it. One thing I do want to change is I would like to move this painting right here, because I actually kind of see something like that in the real image that I'm looking at. And then I might put this right here instead, and then just move this like into the middle. Keep it really simple there. But honestly, we got the first floor done. We're almost finished, y'all. We have just a couple bedrooms and the attic space, and that's kind of it, y'all. Now, this one will be Sally's bedroom, and this bed is honestly the closest that I can get without it looking a little off. And then I'm going to put a fireplace in here too. She has a fireplace in her bedroom, which is honestly very nice. And I'll just use this little one from Parenthood since it's, not going to take up too much space. And then for some side tables, honestly, I have a hard time seeing any side tables, so I'm just gonna pick something probably simple. It honestly does look like there's just something like this one, like a dark wood swatch, like this probably just right here. And then it looks like there might be a dresser right here. It's really hard to tell. I'll probably just use this one, of course, from the cats and dogs pack. And then right here in the corner looks to be a chair. And let's see, the chair that I want to use is probably going to be just this one. This is honestly the closest, and I really like it. I'm just going to put it like right here. And then as for the lamp, I want something that, this one kind of is perfect actually, just right there. And there is curtains over this door too, of course. Part of me wishes we had more sheer curtains, honestly. But I think for these, I'm just going to use the ones from the, whatever you call this set. I always forget. It's the Desert Oasis. I could be wrong. And then I'll use these in large. I know it kind of looks weird when you look up close, but at the same time, I think it looks nice. I'll give her a little lamp like this one. Actually, I think that might be pretty perfect. I'm going to assume maybe she has another bedside table over here. I do see some other things, like I see a candle, because of course there's candles everywhere in this house. It's a witch house. So I'll just use this one from the Love Struck pack, and we'll put one on the mantle. We'll put two on the mantle as well. Why not? Let me just angle this a little bit like this and put this here. And then for the rug, I'm going to use that Growing Together rug again, probably. It's honestly just so dang perfect. It almost looks like it's laid out like this, but I'm just going to put it like I would normally and just place it like here. Oh, but that isn't right because it looks more like it's placed like this. Oh, actually that looks good. I think that's really the majority of the stuff in here. I'll go ahead and preemptively put like a little desk and maybe like a bookshelf or something. We'll just match everything. We'll use the cats and dogs stuff. You know me. I'm not going to say no to that. I like this room a lot. It's just a simple little bedroom. Nothing too crazy. It's honestly a normal bedroom because that's who she is as a person, and at least in the beginning. And let's see, I also want to get some like writing tools. Oh, I know exactly what we should add. She does write Jillian a letter and she seals it with wax. There is this item called Lunar Experts Folio, and I thought this would look really cute right here. And I'll also give her a like pencil cup, or maybe the quill and ink item. That would look very nice right here. And then obviously a little stack of tomes. We'll shrink it down and we'll like rotate it just so that it looks a little different from the ones that we use downstairs. Looks like there's a mirror up here too, possibly. I think that would be a nice little touch. I think I'll use this one from the Life and Death pack. This one's actually so pretty. I feel like the swatch could be a little warmer. Yeah. And then maybe over here we can just do a bookshelf, or I'm sorry, place a bookshelf. I don't know why I say do. We're not doing it. We're placing it. That's what we're doing. I think that's honestly all I want to do. I think I'll add this like little cabinet right here just to fill that space in. And I'll also give her a hamper just right here. And I would also really like to add in a couple little decorative items here. Ooh, this little silhouette would look really cute right here. And then maybe just a little stack of books here or something. Very nice. And then we just need some curtains in here, which I think I'll probably just use these curtains, even though they do look a little different in the movie. This just looks really pretty, actually. They're just very simple. And then again, I will use these enlarged. That kind of looks strange, but just don't look at it too close. Okay, I think that is a good place to stop with that room. I am going to add in some proper lighting. Don't you worry. I'm probably going to do a boob light in here just because for the lack of a better light, I will put a boob light. Honestly, I love this. It's an electric wall lantern from Horse Ranch. Honestly, so beautiful for adding in a nice warm glow into a room. It's honestly kind of been a game changer with this space. And then I'll just add a boob light just right there. And there is Sally's bedroom. The next bedroom is just across the hall here. And this one is Aunt Jet's bedroom. We're just going to go with kind of this slightly eclectic vibe. I'm probably going to keep it pretty similar to the rest of the house, honestly. I'm not going to go too crazy with the clutter and stuff. Put some candles in here for some light. There's a little bench. I think I can put it at the foot of the bed. Something like this one, maybe. I feel like this one actually looks quite cute and rustic there. And then there is a chair right here, which I think I'm going to use maybe this one again. It's also from Cats and Dogs. Very, very nice chair. I feel like that looks really good in here. I also want to put a little side table here. I think I'm going to use my favorite one out of all of them. So let's put it like this and then angle this maybe, or maybe I should angle this and then just do it like this. There we go. And then I will also give her another lamp, of course. Ooh, this cute little lamp from For Rent is so perfect. I love that one. There is apparently a window seat here. I'm honestly just gonna put like this would be really perfect actually. And then maybe some side tables or something right next to it. Okay, what if we did something kind of like this just to kind of mimic that? That looks really pretty. And then for the windows, we need some nice curtains too. I hate doing windows like this. I really just want to like get rid of those windows and just use curtains on these. It honestly just bothers me so much because it's just so hard to put windows on like diagonals like that because of the way that, like the shapes and like the sizing and everything works. I think I'll just put in some of these curtains here. Very plain curtains. There's a desk over here and also a wardrobe. I'm looking at those references I was talking about earlier in the video. I will leave that. Obviously, that will be linked in the description down below. But I'll just put a little desk right there. And then there is a wardrobe right here. I think I will use probably the horse ranch one is just so beautiful. I love that one so much. And I think there's a swatch. Yeah, that looks so good. I kind of want to make this bed a little darker. I kind of do like that a lot, actually. I think I'm going to use that instead. And then just put this over here with a little candle. I think we'll leave the bed that way. That looks good. And then we do need a nice big rug here. This one, not this one. I want the really big one from Life and Death. Yeah, this one's perfect because it really fills up the room really nicely. I like this green for some reason, but I can't really match the bed to that. Maybe I can. I don't know what colors she prefers, but we'll do that. I don't know. I'm not sure if this even suits her at all, but I quite like it a lot. And then we'll just put a nice chair right here. And this will be just another writing desk, I guess. Put a little lantern here. I'm also going to go ahead and just get rid of these overhead lights. And then I'm going to add in just one singular little boob light right up in here. That's so much better. And then I don't like these curtains after all. I think if I'm going to add some simplistic curtains like that, I'm just going to use the ones from the base game. In fact, I can do something like this where I layer them and we can just kind of layer them just like this. Look at how pretty that is. And then we can kind of do the same over here maybe. Just kind of simply layer them like that. Maybe lift them up a little bit so it doesn't look so low. We'll use my favorite lamp in the entire game over here. We'll put it in this corner. And then I think that might be the main bits of furniture we need to add. I kind of want to give her a fireplace too, even though it's not in these original plans. I think a fireplace would be so nice. I think I'll just use the same one that we did in Sally's room. And what do I want to put over here? I don't know. Maybe we just leave that empty. And then we do need something like a nice bit of artwork and maybe some more candles in here. Put some candles just like that. And maybe we'll just throw in like a tapestry or something. I do love this one an awful lot. That's very pretty. I like it, but I feel like there is something missing in here. Probably more of these lights. This would really help fill in the wall space a little bit. It would just add that vibe too. I think that really helped it a lot. And I think I'm also just going to give her another nightstand with another candle next to it. And then we can go in and just add some clutter as well, just like books and stuff. Ooh, we'll use this like overturned book just on the corner there. That would be cute. A little silhouette right here from the paranormal pack. Ooh, how about we put this right here? This can be maybe her spell book or something like that. I really like this room. I think it's pretty much finished. It's very clean and minimally furnished, but I really, really love it. Okay, so we're also going to work on this bathroom. It's a pretty simple layout. This door actually needs to be moved. I think down to like right here roughly. And then we'll put the bathtub right here. I'm going by that floor plan once again. And I kind of just want to go with like a really simple, like this tub here would be cute. Maybe I feel like we should put it right there. And then something like a cabinet should go right here. Like I low-key even want to put this right there. And then the toilet goes right here. We'll just use a normal one. And then a sink. I think just to kind of help with the realism, I'm going to put it on a proper counter like this, just because I feel like it would look a little bit nicer here in The Sims. I'll give them a nice, magical looking mirror of some kind. Maybe something more like this one. Yeah, that looks super cute. And we'll just throw in some other decor. I do want to pick out the flooring because we are going to use tiling in here. I think I really want to go with just like this really plain tiling that's very 90s vibes. I also think I'm going to get rid of this window too because it's kind of out of place. What is over here though? This seems like such a strange corner here. I'm not even sure if, I mean, obviously this is just somebody's guess, but I think I'm just going to put a proper shower over here. I think that would be nice actually to have one. And for the tiling, I don't really know. Maybe this from Realm of Magic. Ooh, wait a minute. That looks so good together. I quite like that. And then maybe the counters can be a different color too. Maybe something like that looks good. And then this should probably change. Ooh, I love that green. That's very cute. And then I'm just going to go through and add some clutter that, you know, you would see in a bathroom. At least I hope you would see it in a bathroom. We'll put the hamper maybe like right here. This vine, like ivy situation is starting to kind of break the immersion a little bit. I put a robe hanging here. I'll also put some rags there. And then let's see, a little towel rack just right here next to the shower would be nice. I kind of low-key want to put this here. Even though this isn't a laundry room, I feel like it would look really good in here. We also need some kind of medicine cabinet too, and I feel like this would look very nice with that dark wood. And then maybe just like a little rug like this in the center. I feel like that works really well with the blues and the tiling here. And then we just need some like wall art or something on the wall at all. Oh, I like this little set, but it's too big. Maybe just a little sunflower painting. That's a very cute little addition. And then we'll add in a nice boob light, you know me. And then I'm also going to add in these wall lanterns, which are just going to amplify that cozy vibe even more. And we do need some curtains, of course, because you can't have a window in a bathroom and not have curtains. Maybe just like these. I feel like those look nice. We'll just do this light beigey color. Okay, that bathroom is actually so nice. And honestly, I think it fits the vibe very well. This room here, I'm not sure what to put in it. I don't think I'm going to put anything in it at all. Just because this is technically supposed to be like a winding staircase. I wonder if I can do that. I might try to do something with this because technically, I was going to, but technically there's no other way to get up there because the way that the staircases are set up is really weird because there is like a main staircase here in the middle that you go up. But then there is another set of stairs that you have to go to the kitchen to get to. And then you go up that to get to the tower. And then that leads you to the attic space. I don't know. It feels like that this door was just kind of randomly here anyway. So, you know what? Why not? It don't matter to me. What I want to do is make this as accurate as possible. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to make this hollowed out. So like I'm going to draw this fence around. I'm going to see if this works. My game is loving me right now. But you can see that this is now its own room. I should be able to click this and remove it. You know what? Before I do anything, I'm just going to save the game. Yeah, if you do anything like that, save your game just to be safe, okay? And then I'm going to really quickly, before I forget, add this railing to the stairs because I forgot about that. And then let's see if it works. Okay. Well, it kind of didn't. But it kind of did. I think it's because I have this placed incorrectly. I need to remove this bit of fencing and just go across where the stairs are right here. And then I'll remove the flooring in here. And then I can also remove this chunk underneath the stairs. Hopefully I can do it. It's kind of like not liking me right now. So maybe we'll, hold on. Okay. Well, oh, can I not remove that at all? What is going on? Help me, y'all. Please. What? Can I not delete that? Oh God. Oh, I think I did it. Okay. Oh, what is happening here? I'm so confused. Okay, let's just rewind. And then we'll do this. Oh, that looks like garbage. Okay, let's remove this. You're here for the whole process. Sorry, y'all. This is really confusing, isn't it? Because now if I like remove this, it just gets rid of that. So let me figure this out and I'll meet back with you momentarily. I think what I'm going to do is, this is the best that I can do. And I'm just going to draw across here instead and leave this as like its own thing. And then this I'll get rid of. It's a little bit weird and funky looking, but at the end of the day, that's how this looks. Is like you can see down it. It's a part in the movie. This is the best that I can do because honestly, if I get rid of this, it's going to look so weird and awkward. So yeah, I kind of like the way that looks now. And then they can go all the way up to the attic space, which is basically where you will see the girls sleeping, Sally's daughters, as well as Jillian. You know, I think I'm just going to do a moment like this up here too. Just get rid of as many of these as possible because clearly, oh, we're going to have to do some work. Oh dear. Oh no. Okay. That looks better. Fixed the issue. We're definitely going to have some roof pieces kind of sneaking in here. So just going to have to adjust some things as we go. Alrighty. So upstairs is an attic space right here. And then this is, I think, Aunt Frances's bedroom. So I did my best to try to make this little area work right here for the staircase. It's a little bit tricky and discombobulated and not sensical, but you are able to actually get up here, which I think I'm going to make the walls up there this. Very pretty, very nice. But down here, the flooring, I want to say the flooring is a little different. It looks to be a little bit more worn down and a little bit different. And I also think that there should just be some more windows in here. I'm just going to put one right here just because we don't have enough windows, honestly. And the flooring is definitely going to be a bit more worn down. I kind of want to use this one from the Spooky Day stuff, or just spooky stuff pack, I guess you could call it. I think I am going to use this one, but I'm going to go like this way. That's the best that I can do. And then there's just two small beds, like two twin beds right here. I really like these. Oh wow, we actually have way more room than I thought. Good. We're just going to put these here. I'm seeing if these look good because it looks like they have just like some cute little, like, oh, those are really cute. Honestly, those are perfect. And then we'll give them like a little nightstand here in the middle, just like a little table. I know I've used this one so much, but that's so perfect for these. And I'll give them this little like oil light here. And it looks like there's a nice rug underneath. I'm going to use the growing together one again. I'm sorry. It's just so good. I think I might use this one though. That looks very nice up here. And in reality, this is kind of like a lofted space. It looks more like it's in the roof of the house, but you know, we can't really do that very well in The Sims, like effectively. So just take it with a grain of salt. And then right over here, we're going to put a little desk, probably just a very simple desk. Like I can imagine a lot of like old furniture or just like stuff they don't really keep downstairs is up here. So it's just kind of like mismatched, kind of like this one. Maybe we'll do that possibly, or maybe this one. Ooh, that kind of looks cute. And we'll give them like a normal little chair. And then I'm going to add a little light over here. I think the same lamp that was downstairs would look good, but I'm also going to put candles, of course. Maybe just like the lamp that we used in Sally's room. Ooh, this lamp actually, because it's a little different and it's just like a normal looking lamp. Put a little pencil cup here too, and a little notebook here. I think that looks really cute over there. And then I kind of want to bring this in a tile. I feel like it sticks out so much right here. That actually looks so much better. Oh my goodness. And then we'll just put the window a little higher here. I've been making so many alterations to this house, but hear me out. It's just how it is. I think I'm just going to put some bookshelves on either side of the beds. Actually, how about I move these over a little bit? Sorry about the camera. If it gets kind of jumpy, it's just because that's how The Sims is, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll put a little bookshelf right there. Maybe we'll do that, or maybe I kind of weirdly like that blue. I don't know. It just kind of stands out in a good way. There's not really anything else specific that I'm seeing in this. Maybe just some like chests, some boxes, and some toys maybe. Maybe they keep some supplies up here too, like old like workbenches and stuff. Maybe I can put like an old beat up piano in here. That's kind of fun. I think I'll put in some wardrobes and stuff, just random like dressers. Like this little itty bitty one would look so good over here in this area. Ooh, and a dollhouse. Oh, I think that would be very nice. I feel like that would fit so well, just like directly here in the middle. This one, oh, that one's just so cute. It's just from the base game, but my goodness, I like it. Should I use that one? That looks very cute. And what about this wall? Well, firstly, I would like to put some lamps in here. I'm going to use my favorite lamp. I'm going to overuse it. I kind of just want to put that right there. I also, you can see my game running so slow right now because it's very unhappy with me. And I kind of want to put another bookshelf over here, maybe just something like this, you know, on the wall. And I think a chest would look really cute too. Just like maybe one of these, just like right here. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm thinking we should add some more toys. Ooh, like a little toy chest would look really cute. Like this one, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Hold on, what if we did this, where I put this here, put this right here. Maybe we put this on this side maybe, and then maybe we can also put like a mirror in here. I'm kind of liking the soft pink and the light blue. It's very like feminine. And I think some wall art over here would really help tie it all in. I think this painting set would look really good. Ooh, a rocking chair. Oh, the rocking chair would look so good right there. That's cute. All right. I think this room is pretty much done. I'm not really gonna, want to add a ton of stuff in here just because after after a while, it just gets a little repetitive because it's such a big house. I think I'm just going to put like a couple of these lights throughout the room, and then I'm going to get rid of these overhead lights, of course. Oh my goodness, that's such a vibe. And then I'll put in a nice old light, maybe actually the bulb from Laundry Day. Just put that right there. How adorable is this room? Only one more room, and at least this is the last room that you all will be seeing in this build, because I will do this room off camera, and that's really it actually. So I'm gonna do Aunt Frances's bedroom, and I have no clue because you never see this room either. You don't see the aunt's bedrooms at all. I think it is time for me to purchase the Practical Magic books. There is a whole series of them, actually, that is by Alice Hoffman. That's she wrote Practical Magic, and that was what the movie was based on, but she has like 3 other books in this series, and there's like a different order in which she released them. So like I definitely need to read all 4 of them. So yeah, I definitely need to look into that, and I'm going to try to get them thrifted if I can. Yeah, I'm just kind of just putting the normal, the usual things I've pretty much put in every little room. I'll use this Crystal Creations desk though up here. This is Aunt Frances, who is the older sister. She is played by Stockard Channing. I always thought that was such an interesting name, but God, is she an icon of a woman, let me tell you. Every woman in this movie though was iconic, even down to the side characters. Give her a little quill and ink here, maybe some tomes. We need a nice mirror as well. I think I'll just use the one from Get Together, just because it's so perfect. And then I will throw in a rocking chair. I think I really like this one, but I also am going to throw in like a normal chair too. Probably this one from the base game as well. And I think I'm going to add in another lamp as well, you know. Oh, I kind of like this broken one. I accidentally chose it, but it's actually so cute. And then, oof, the camera is upset with me. But we're also going to throw in some bookshelves too. I think I'm going to use this one from Get Together, so I'm not using the same ones in every single room. And then we just need some paintings too. It's actually kind of nice building without having to look at the other screen for reference, because honestly, that's been the one most exhausting thing about this whole like build process, is just the fact that I have to really go off of reference. But thankfully with this room, I don't need to do that because this didn't exist in the movie at the very least. I'm just kind of placing some random things in here. Not really worried too much about it anymore. Ooh, we'll put some books in the floor because why not? And then the flooring, I kind of want to make it the same as in here just because this is like the attic. And the wallpaper, I don't know, should I just use this? It's kind of cute, but I kind of just want to use the same stuff as upstairs or downstairs, but maybe like a darker color. Maybe Frances likes it a little bit deeper in here. Ooh, that's actually very nice and cozy. I think I'm honestly just going to put another mirror above the dresser here too. Ooh, I like that actually. And some paintings above each side of the bed. Maybe this one and maybe like a tarot painting. Actually, I kind of like the tarot painting being in the middle, and then maybe putting like this one right here. I don't know. That's just kind of silly. I really like that like combo. That's just so pretty. And then I'll do the little bulb light in here, I think. And I'm not really going to put anything out here on this balcony here just because I feel like it's really just there for, you know, standing. Ooh, I should also throw in some curtains because I feel like putting curtains here would look so good. Should I use sheer curtains again? Those are nice, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of using these red ones. Oh, it doesn't look right. It's a little bit weird, isn't it? But I might just not worry because honestly, I love that color. All right, so that's these rooms done. I would like to put something up here in the tower. I just don't know what. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what to put up here. Well, firstly, I need to put a door because I got to get up here somehow. Just because, you know, there is the iconic scene at the end of the movie where they jump off the roof and then they float down and everybody cheers and they're like, oh my God, we accept you now, even though we've been ostracizing you and all of your ancestors over, you know, the actions of one person for millennia or something like that. Not millennia, that's a little extreme, but you know, it's just funny things like that. I'm not really sure what to put out here on this rooftop. Maybe I will we'll make this like a rooftop garden, give them some more places to grow stuff. I think that would actually be quite nice to have a little rooftop garden up here. I'll just put like some just like this, put a couple there, and maybe I can put a bench out here somewhere. I'm not really sure what kind. Oh, this one, of course. We'll put this one out here. We'll just put this right here in this little corner. I think that would be cute. And honestly, I have no clue what to put up here, so I'm just gonna put nothing. I'm just gonna put a little rug and a little light, and that's all I want to do. And I think that is it. I want to keep this pretty clean because the idea of throwing a bunch of stuff up there is awful, but we did it. Oh my God, I actually almost could cry. I'm just gonna be real with you. This was a very tumultuous process. I'll just ramble while I finish this room here, just so that, you see something. But this process was exhausting. It was so intense, but I'm honestly super proud of this build. I'm actually kind of getting emotional. This is my favorite movie of all time. Like, this was my comfort movie, is my comfort movie to this day. I genuinely love this movie because all the actresses are wonderful actresses that I honestly admire. And also gender envy a little bit. Just saying, Miss Sandra Bullock as Sally Owens, truly the inspiration for my life. Like, I want to be her, which is, I mean, maybe not be her, but like have some similarities. I don't want her life because, she has a tragic life. And my partner's name is also Michael. And, her first husband is also named Michael. And I don't want that. We're just not going to talk about that, Anyways, put some bookshelves in there. I'm going to finish this up and I'll give you the tour at the end. Alrighty, we're finished. It's done. Here is the Practical Magic house. Would you call this Owens Manor? Possibly. I think I would. I will leave plenty of links down below for you to check out. There is a wiki page for the Practical Magic series, just the, universe. There's also a website that you can look at some screen caps from films. It's called fancaps.net. I've been using that pretty religiously with this whole experience. So if you ever want to recreate a house from a movie or something or a show, use that because they'll have plenty. And then I'm also going to link a couple of other websites that I just found for reference because this floor plan, I did figure it out for The Sims, but I did not just figure it out of my head. I used references that other people have created, so I will link those down below. Please go check them out if you are interested. But let's go ahead and we'll jump on into the tour. So here's the front of the house. This is the iconic view of the home, I think, is seeing it for the first time as the girls walk up. Here is yet another view. You can see the garden, the backyard, and there's a little peek at the conservatory there. Again, this one's a very iconic view. Here is the iconic conservatory. I love this room so much. It's just so fresh and just, and like, honestly, this is like the sunroom of all sunrooms when it comes to iconic places in media. Here is one view of the kitchen. Here is like the stovetop, the table, and then here's the other view of the kitchen as well. You can see the little dining space back there. There's the sink. Very, very iconic area, honestly, because I don't know, just so many scenes happen in the kitchen. A little sneak peek into the pantry. This is where Jillian and the girls whip up a spell to banish Officer Hallett, but the girls, upon realizing he is the guy from Sally's spell, which, first of all, the fact that they picked that up before the adults did was baffling. But yeah, they take the spell and they throw it into the ocean and that, I'm going to be honest, is the real reason why I built on this lot. We have the dining and craft room. You'll see that towards the beginning of the movie. We have this iconic entrance, which honestly I'm so obsessed with. Yet another view of the entrance. This is the staircase that leads upstairs. Gorgeous living room. I'm obsessed with this living room. This bathroom wasn't in the movie really, but I think it fits the style and the vibe very nicely. It's definitely like a 90s bathroom. I did not clutter it very much though. This is Sally's bedroom. I think it's very nice and fresh and bright in here. This is Aunt Jet's bedroom. I really don't know what it looks like at all, so I just kind of made it a simple, rustic kind of witchy bedroom. I personally really like this view right here. That sunlight coming in. I could just sit there and write all day. Another iconic room is the attic bedroom. This is where the girls sleep, also Jillian later on. This view isn't exact to the original, but it's close enough. I think this is cute. We have a smaller bedroom, but this one is Aunt Frances's bedroom. I really like this room a lot, and that is it. How about I show you the floor plan? It's a doozy, y'all. This floor plan, let's just say it's a lot. So here is the first floor with the living room, the kitchen, dining space. There's a couple voids, but just ignore those. And then the second floor there where there's just a landing, the bathroom, and 2 bedrooms, as well as some of the staircase that leads up to the tower room. We have the attic, another bedroom, and then stairs that lead up to another tower room. And that's it. I am going to add a bathroom in this room right here myself off camera, or maybe not a bathroom. I'll figure something out. That's why I left it blank. And that's it, y'all. Yeah, I know. It's done. It's complete. Do let me know in the comments down below what you would add to this build, because yes, I am going to be uploading this to the gallery under my username Luca Owens, of course. But I will keep this in my save file and I won't make any changes. So if you all have any suggestions, feedback, whatsoever, just leave them in the comments. It actually really does help me out because sometimes y'all will think of something that I don't, and it's super helpful. But yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to my YouTube members, the Lavender Buds. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for just your nice words, your comments, just everything. I really appreciate it. If you would like to become a member, you'll get early access to my videos anytime I upload them, as well as access to members only videos. And you'll also see your name scrolling on the screen right now. But seriously though, a big thank you to everyone. If you got to this part of the video, congrats. Honestly, you did it. You lasted. You got through this whole video. Like what? I could never. What am I kidding? I definitely would. But anyways, I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And that is everything. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I'll speak to y'all next time. Bye, y'all.